Alright, so 100 years ago, spiritual energy just showed up. And this new power made animals evolve into absolute units, or into living elemental weapons like a fire-breathing parrot. While humans, of course, turned it into influencer careers with millions of followers. Even the pop-up ads are trying to sell you a magic pet for a cool 100K. But our boy Lin Yuan is completely over it, scrolling through useless life advice instead. And meanwhile, his cat is having a full-on heat stroke crisis. This cat genius decides Lin Yuan's leg is the source of all his problems, so his solution is to climb on Lin Yuan's head for better ventilation. Lin Yuan's face says it all. He is not impressed with this genius move, so giving up, genius makes a dramatic escape attempt up the window, finally finding a breeze while Lin Yuan just reminds him to take his meds. And just like that, the cat is out of the house, mission accomplished. Which brings us to our guy, an 18-year-old shop owner who feels totally disconnected from this magic world, because he has been unable to sense any spiritual energy since he was a kid. He and Genius are now worried about a wilting plant, a low-tier spiritual creature, which is apparently so useless it is barely better than grass. And in this world, no one wastes time or resources on low-tier creatures. Speaking of which, Genius's own species has never once evolved in a century. Then a little bird brings Lin Yuan his medicine, a small moment of kindness in their shop. He is so weak that just contracting with a low-tier beast made him dizzy for half a month. And while he is moping, Genius is having an existential crisis about the empty streets, which are empty because it is early and a vendor is just starting to hawk vegetables, attracting a mother and daughter who happens to be holding her own fancy calico cat. So Genius immediately puts on his best salesman act to welcome them, only for the rival cat to call him leftover merchandise with bad fur a total burn. Our boy Genius is absolutely fuming, challenging the other cat to rock, paper, scissors. So Lin Yuan has to scoop him up, explaining the fatal flaw in his plan. No fingers, dude. With the shop closed for a walk, Genius's mind is on one thing: braised pork. Lin Yuan's pep talk is just telling Genius it is fine, he is not smart and is cheap, which obviously makes the cat cry. As Lin Yuan wishes he could sense spiritual energy, the little bird suddenly screams for him to look out, because a massive armored pig is charging right at them out of nowhere. And Genius's brain immediately translates this into 50 tons of wild braised pork has appeared. Lin Yuan snatches him back, yelling at him for being willing to die for dinner. Because this thing is furious and these pigs are supposed to be totally docile. Now they are in a full-blown sprint, desperately trying to escape the rampaging monster. But then he trips, going down hard with Genius still in his arms, and his tiny pets actually square up to protect him, with Genius screaming, "Bring it on, braised pork." Barely conscious, Lin Yuan pushes through the pain, telling his friends to run. And then everything goes white as he finds himself somewhere completely different. Lin Yuan's eyes snap open, but something is definitely different. In his mind, he sees a mysterious, glowing copper ring, triggering a memory of losing it as a kid after it touched his blood. And just like that, he remembers being able to feel spiritual energy all those years ago. Back in reality, he forces himself up from the pavement, where Genius is thrilled to see him awake. Which is great timing because the pig is about to turn them into a fine paste. Suddenly, a golden bracelet materializes on Lin Yuan's wrist, glowing intensely, and his own eyes are now blazing with a strange new power. He can see the pig's stats, a level 3 monster, while his pets are basically level 0. Using this new insight, he yells for Genius to dodge an attack from the right, but even with the warning, the cat barely escapes. The power gap is just too big. Lin Yuan glares at his bracelet, demanding more power for his contracted creatures, as the little bird bravely flies forward to protect Genius. He then notices the bird is glowing with the same light as his new accessory, realizing the bracelet is actually forcing his pets to evolve on the spot. This armored pig lets out a furious roar, not a fan of this plot twist, and Genius answers with his own powered-up shriek, a true battle of the lungs. But Lin Yuan knows it is not enough. He has to find a weak point and fast. His pets can only watch in terror as the monster pig brings its hoof down for the final blow. Lin Yuan's brilliant plan is for the bird to sing, "Any notes are fine, just make it loud." So the little guy unleashes a sonic assault of pure, unadulterated noise, and Lin Yuan is just glad his 400-plus sparring sessions prepared him for this torture. This pig is officially annoyed by the world's worst concert, turning its attention, while the bird realizes its whole purpose was to be bait so Genius could get a break. With his tactical vision online, Lin Yuan orders the newly named sound to go for the eyes, and the bird bravely accepts its kamikaze mission, ready to go. But its old moves suddenly are not working, leaving it confused in midair. At the worst possible moment, Lin Yuan's mental power completely runs out and he collapses, desperately clutching the bracelet, begging it for just a little more juice, which floods right back into Sound, who is feeling a sudden second wind. This bird unleashes a volley of glowing feather daggers straight at the pig's face, hitting it square in the eyes, and Lin Yuan gives Genius the signal to attack. Our boy Genius goes full Shadow Demon mode, rocketing toward the beast, landing a devastating claw strike right on the pig's snout, a direct hit. In a cloud of dust, the monster actually turns and runs for its life, leaving Genius dizzy but triumphant as Lin Yuan confirms they totally won. But then his pets scream his name in absolute terror, because the pig was not retreating, it was just getting a running start for round 2. As its hoof comes down, 2 new people watch, wondering how a silent pig got here. One of the onlookers' eyes go wide, she recognizes something in the chaos. spotting a familiar blue feather stuck right on the rampaging pig, and she immediately tells her companion she's going to find Lin Yuan. That leaves old Li to handle the mess, summoning his own glowing-eyed battle bunny, while Lin Yuan is back in that strange white space from before, finally understanding that this is the source of his newfound power. This golden bracelet on his wrist is the key to everything, a personal pocket dimension, his very own internal phase space. He looks down at the accessory, starting to put the pieces together, and just like that, a stat screen appears detailing its skills in data analysis and mental stability. But then he sees an exclusive trait, something that should not exist on a normal grade item. Realizing this thing can actually nurture and evolve his low-tier pets, a total game changer. Of course, leveling up creatures costs a fortune, and our boy is famously broke. Still, he shakes it off, just happy he can sense spiritual energy again. A voice from the outside world cuts through his thoughts. His neighbor is worried sick, and back in reality, he wakes up to his pets frantically trying to slap him conscious. He calmly reassures them he is fine, petting a very stressed-out genius, finding himself in a hospital room with his neighbor and a doctor watching over him. This neighbor, Auntie Zhang, tells him he has been out for 10 hours straight. Lin Yuan agrees to the checkup, but decides to keep his new super bracelet a secret for now. This doctor's using a fancy healing fish on Lin Yuan, totally impressed by its rare skills, and after giving the all-clear, the doc makes a hasty exit. His wife's waiting for dinner, which arrives via Bunny Express, delivered by old Li's little battle pet from the pig fight, as Auntie Zhang hands over the meal with a classic "you better be grateful" lecture. But Lin Yuan is all smiles, and Genius is just thrilled about the braised pork, while Auntie Zhang pets the delivery bunny, noting its stats are completely unreadable. But Lin Yuan's new eyes see the truth. It has 2 exclusive traits and is no ordinary rabbit. Some time later, he is out of the hospital and trying to jog, already looking like he is about to collapse. Leaning against a wall, he decides his body is just too weak for combat professions. Right as Auntie Zhang and a wheelchair-bound Uncle Li happen to pass by, so Lin Yuan immediately puts on a brave face, flexing his noodle arms like he is perfectly fine. But his bracelet vision activates, revealing Uncle Li's leg is rotting from a platinum-tier curse, and he sees the cause: nasty little worms from a king-tier beast burrowed deep inside, which makes him realize Uncle Li is secretly a powerhouse, just hiding his strength to recover. He waves them off, promising he is okay, while his mind is absolutely reeling, thinking about how much they have done for him and wondering if he can finally help them back. Back at his shop, Lin Yuan walks in with a whole new sense of determination, where he finds his little potted plant has suddenly evolved to elite quality overnight, and it clicks. His spiritual energy is not leaking, it is being absorbed by his pets to evolve them. With his eyes blazing, he decides to test this new power on a healing-type plant ready to level up. This test is a success. A basic plant is now an elite-grade healer, and our boy is already seeing dollar signs, thinking about that tenfold price increase. So he immediately bolts upstairs, yelling for his pets to come see the miracle, where Sound is already buzzing, confirming they have all leveled up. And Genius strikes a pose, his new intelligence skill being the ability to remember 30 pieces of braised pork, truly a scholar. While Sound celebrates its improved singing, a clear and present danger to eardrums everywhere. With literal money signs for eyes, Lin Yuan is screaming about his new cheat ability. He is gonna be rich. But then the full weight of it hits him, and this is way bigger than just money. He remembers that evolving phase is supposed to be insanely difficult, needing tons of rare materials. And even with all the expensive potions, it is still just a low-probability gamble. Yet our boy can do it all just by existing, no lottery required. Suddenly he is terrified, realizing this power would get him hunted down and dissected if anyone ever found out. So he clenches his fist, deciding to hide in plain sight by becoming a creation master. Back in reality, Genius reminds him he still needs to contract his sister's pet. So he gets right on the phone, calling his sister Little CI to check in. He smoothly tells her he is feeling great, even planning to do some yard work, a total flex, which gets a reaction of pure unadulterated shock from her. She immediately goes full protective sister mode, yelling that he is way too weak for that. But Lin Yuan just plays it cool, telling her not to worry and to hit the books. And she quietly agrees, though you can tell she is not convinced at all. Meanwhile, Little CI makes a solemn vow to her brother, who is currently at school getting a lecture about contracting her first Fae, where the teacher explains that a user's own power is a huge factor, and picking an incompatible Fae is basically asking for brain damage. Little CI takes it all in, knowing her combat-focused class needs perfect synergy. After class, another student heads out for the day. But the teacher asks Little CI to stay for a private chat, basically grilling her about wasting her incredible talent on a low-tier pet. Little CI cannot even look her in the eye, totally conflicted. Back at the shop, Lin Yuan is finally done with his project, celebrating 3 newly evolved plants, his ticket to funding his sister's future. Just then, his phone rings with an unknown number, perfect timing for a sale. So he answers, ready to make a deal, looking way too pleased with himself. And it is the teacher, absolutely ripping into him for letting his sister pick a trash-tier beetle. His eyes go wide, a gray armored beetle, the most useless bug on the market. This teacher keeps ranting, explaining Little CI has a super rare defense affinity, and Lin Yuan promises to get her a proper pet, now facing a 100,000 coin price tag. Time is short, so he gets right back to work, planning to mass-produce elite plants for cash. He heads out to a new location, ready to make some deals. And after an all-nighter of pure energy transfer, he looks like death but feels like a winner. He decides to hit the spiritual creature market but plans to keep a low profile. Though Genius insists on coming, claiming to be a master negotiator, a total lie. Their ride arrives, a high-speed carriage pulled by a powerful horse-like fae, and Genius is totally baffled by the lack of an engine, getting a quick lesson on modern transport. With a sit tight from the mustached driver, they are off in a flash. This creature's hooves pounding the pavement at an incredible speed. Lin Yuan just barely hangs onto his cat, who is actually enjoying the wild ride. This driver strikes up a conversation, mentioning the market is a hot spot today, revealing a dimensional rift just opened up right outside the city, which unleashed a swarm of nasty bugs that the Redbud guards had to clean up. Hearing about the guards makes Lin Yuan a little tense, remembering his recent encounter. This driver adds that the rift was next to a breeding base, so now there is a fire sale on injured creatures. And just like that, Lin Yuan and Genius realize where that rampaging pig came from. This driver even suggests they check out the stalls for a bargain, and our boy is all about getting a discount. Arriving at the market, Lin Yuan looks ready to do some serious business. Genius immediately gets down to it, asking about their budget for a defensive pet. But the price tag is a soul-crushing 100,000 coins, and they do not even have a fifth of that. So he sets up a stall to sell his newly evolved plants, already getting lowballed by potential buyers, sensing his own broad affinity for nature types as his plants glow with power. But then Genius spots something important, yelling for Lin Yuan to come see. This first pet they find has an insane 80,000 coin price tag. So Genius goes full hardball, trying to haggle a vendor down to 20k, but Lin Yuan cuts him off, much to the cat's absolute fury, whispering that they are just window shopping for now. He's got a plan. His bracelet vision dismisses a bonsai turtle too slow, too weak, and a shadow armadillo is basically just a fancy roly-poly. With options dwindling, Genius suggests going back to the first rabbit, but Lin Yuan spots one last stall with a very fluffy alternative. He scans the ramhorn sheep, which has skills like soft fur and sleepy dust, truly terrifying. So naturally, Lin Yuan offers a ridiculously high 100,000 coins for it, which makes the seller so suspicious he has to phone his wife for advice. On the call, the guy admits the sheep are only worth half that, while Genius lectures Lin Yuan on basic economics, and the vendor comes back with a new price of 120,000, a total shakedown. Lin Yuan slumps, realizing he is out of options and will have to overpay for his sister. Just then, he overhears the first vendor mention some injured beasts in the back, and his eyes light up with a brilliant money-saving idea. This vendor clarifies they are not for meat, but for sale, as is a huge gamble for any buyer. Everyone scoffs, since only a rich creation master could afford to heal them. But Lin Yuan steps up, asking to see the injured creatures himself. Because unlike everyone else, he has got a cheat code glowing on his wrist. This vendor, Brother Yang, leads him to the back with a totally not shady smile, showing off two web-spraying spiders that are clearly on their last legs and smell like it too. His bracelet vision confirms they are elite tier, but their guts are practically hanging out, and Lin Yuan's eyes light up. He sees a massive discount, not a dying bug. So he immediately offers a trade, since his wallet is basically just dust and lint. But Yang shuts him down, saying he is not interested in whatever a broke kid has to offer, which is when Lin Yuan drops the magic words, elite green radishes, and suddenly the vendor's interested, asking about the quality of these miracle vegetables. While considering the deal, Yang shows off his last piece of damaged goods, a rocky bowl. And our boy's eyes practically turn into stars. It is a perfect defensive pet for his sister. This vendor is just baffled by his excitement for a creature that is barely standing. So Lin Yuan throws out a massive offer of 200,000 coins for the bull alone, making Yang instantly suspicious, wondering if this kid has a creation master in his back pocket. With total confidence, Lin Yuan promises his radishes are the real deal. And that seals it. Yang agrees to the trade and starts packing up his stall. He then pulls out a fancy fake containment box to load up the animals, tossing the high-tech cube over to Lin Yuan, which is basically a pocket dimension for pets, making them weightless for easy transport. And Genius immediately complains about never getting one, forcing Lin Yuan to explain the concept of a budget. As the beat-up Rocky Bull gets vacuumed right into the box, ready for its new life, Genius is just losing his mind over the pocket dimension tech. But Yang immediately kills the vibe, saying the bull's a lost cause anyway. So Lin Yuan scans Yang's own pet, a gnarly-looking poison lizard. This vendor proudly shoves his lizard in Lin Yuan's face, fishing for a compliment, and our boy is totally geeking out, getting a rare up-close look at a bronze-tier fae. This display of knowledge makes Yang think his gamble on the kid was a smart one after all. Just then, another vendor calls him out, clearly not a fan of his sales tactics. Turns out the giant fire lizard is scaring the other guy's fluffy pets, a real menace to the market. With business concluded, Yang offers Lin Yuan a ride home on his personal lizard mobile, and the creature takes off like a rocket, leaving a trail of pure intimidation. Lin Yuan is just barely hanging on for dear life, screaming into the wind. They pull up to his shop, the lizard sniffing the door like a curious dog. Our boy plays it cool, pretending he is not about to pass out, while Genius looks ready to barf. Stepping inside, Yang is immediately skeptical, thinking this dump is no place for a creation master. He gives Lin Yuan a hard stare, ready to call him out on his bluff, only to see shelves packed with glowing, high-quality plants and his jaw just drops. Yang is absolutely floored by the quality, calling them treasures. And after snapping a leaf, he confirms they are the real deal, juicy and full of energy. His mind races, wondering how this kid got a creation master's help without offering rare treasures. Lin Yuan, smug as ever, asks if he is satisfied and Yang agrees it is time to talk money. Yang lays out the terms. He will buy 100 pots at 33,000 coins each. And Genius's brain just short-circuits trying to calculate that much cash. With a smug grin, Lin Yuan agrees, saying he needs the energy anyway. Which convinces the vendor our boy is secretly royalty, not some random shop kid. He then asks for a timeline on this massive order, and Lin Yuan casually drops 7 days like it is no big deal. Yang just breaks down crying, thinking he has hit the jackpot of a lifetime, a truly professional reaction. They finalize the deal with Lin Yuan telling him to just pay on delivery. And as Yang rides off, our boy prepares for the real work to begin. In the backyard, he faces his new patient, one very large, very injured bull. Genius immediately starts complaining about the future food bill, ever the pragmatist, but Lin Yuan gets right to it, channeling his healing energy into the creature. His glowing hand sinks into the bull's hide, pumping it full of life force, so he decides to crank up the power just to see what happens. This energy output absolutely explodes from his palm, causing the bull to glow and let out a massive moo, surprising him completely. A golden barrier forms around it, and Lin Yuan realizes it is trying to evolve to bronze tier, so he powers up, ready to help his new pet smash through the wall together. This crystalline barrier begins to crack under the immense pressure, and with a final push, it completely shatters, unleashing the bull's new power. As the dust settles, Lin Yuan knows he has pulled it off. And the bull's new stat sheet pops up, now a bronze tier tank. But then he gets a choice of exclusive traits, a totally unexpected bonus. So he sits down to weigh his options, a decision that is surprisingly tough. Trekking is immediately out, a tank does not need cardio, and scale skin is okay for defense, but he is looking for something more. Pain absorption, however, turns damage into health, basically an infinite healing cheat. Letting him picture his sister with her new unkillable bodyguard, and the choice is obvious. With the final skill locked in, the bull is now the ultimate defensive shield, which makes Lin Yuan incredibly proud, though Genius just calls it a Beauty and the Beast situation. Our boy does not care one bit, his sister's safety is all that matters. Then he turns the tables on Genius, calling him a beast too, which is not wrong. He also realizes that evolving the bull boosted his own spiritual power. Meaning the higher the evolution, the bigger the kickback for him. Genius collapses in a puddle of sweat, wondering how they will even transport this massive creature. But Lin Yuan just whips out his phone, having already ordered a high-speed flying delivery service. A massive bird swoops in against the sunset, and Genius is about to have his first flight, while at the fancy Radiance Moon Palace, someone is gathering rare ingredients. A city lord and a woman watch a small fae brew a mysterious potion, dropping a strange crystal into the glowing green liquid. This potion gets its final glowing ingredient, and a single drop of blood is flicked into the mix, which unleashes a terrifying wave of energy, forcing the two lords back. Just then, the legendary Moon Empress arrives to oversee the ritual, and the city lord and his companion are just massively relieved she showed up. He presents his giant striped beast, ready for its big upgrade. With a flick of her wrist, the Empress sends the potion into the creature, and it immediately collapses, writhing on the ground in agony. She calmly explains it is just evolving, while the city lord practically kisses her feet in gratitude. This beast's face begins to morph, sprouting a white mane, letting out a massive roar as its new form solidifies. Meanwhile, her personal pet rabbit looks completely unimpressed with the whole display, and the giant, scary new beast is, whimpering like a lost puppy, a total softie. This Empress ignores the groveling and brings up the upcoming Creation Master exams, which makes the city lord realize she is about to change the rules. She announces a new fast track: pass level 1 fast enough and you skip right to level 2. He accepts the command, ready to spread the word. But her aide questions the move since recent talent has been lackluster. This Empress admits it is personal, 2 other masters got disciples and she is feeling the FOMO. Her aide's eyes widen, realizing this whole reform is just a massive talent search for one person. This Moon Empress lays down the law: the city lord must guard the dimensional rifts, no excuses. Meanwhile, Lin Yuan's high-speed delivery is basically a roller coaster in a hurricane. And the pilot asks if he is okay, while our boy tries not to redecorate the bird's feathers. This guy just keeps chatting, mentioning his own beast is too much of a handful for this trip. While back home, Genius throws a full-blown tantrum about being left behind. Lin Yuan tries to play it cool, promising there is always a next time while looking absolutely wrecked. Their pilot finally announces their arrival, telling him not to be scared of the view. And what a view it is, a stunning mountain range under the moonlight. Our boy is totally captivated, the motion sickness completely forgotten. But then a strange power surges in his mind, he is sensing a will rune. A quick Chibai lesson explains these runes are pure elemental essence, and Lin Yuan immediately identifies this one as representing mountains and rivers. This pilot checks on him again, so he asks how much longer the trip will take. Learning the guy slowed down out of pity, pushing their arrival to morning. Lin Yuan grits his teeth and tells him to floor it, he has got a schedule to keep. We then cut to a high school campus as the sun finally rises. where a group of students, including a girl named Chu Si, are confused about combat practice being moved up. Her friend explains it is a new accelerated program to find the top prodigies. And an instructor lays out the plan: contract a Fae, then immediately spar with the seniors. Chu Si's friend is freaking out about fighting third years, asking about her new armored beetle. Chu Si looks dead serious, clutching her little beetle, and here is the champion in question, a tiny pink-shelled bug. Meanwhile, the other matches are going great if you're a giant boar chasing a terrified squirrel. This ref calls it. The squirrel fled the field, so the senior wins by default, a true display of skill. Her classmate is rightfully calling this whole setup a one-sided beatdown, but still hypes Chu Si up. With that embarrassment over, the announcer calls for the next match, and her opponent, a senior with a truly unfortunate haircut, steps up looking way too confident. This crowd whispers about him having connections, while also gossiping that Chu Si's Fae is basically a dud. This guy's inner monologue reveals he is gunning for the Moon Empress's apprenticeship, using these kids as cannon fodder. He then proceeds to mock Chu Si for being poor, blaming her family for her wasted talent. What a charmer. But Chu Si is not backing down, determined to fight even with her little armored bug. She steps into the ring, ready to go, when suddenly her teacher sprints in, dragging a weird spotted dog thing on a leash. This teacher begs her to use this grade D dog instead, trying to save her from humiliation. Just then, a massive shadow falls over the field as something huge descends from the sky. And Lin Yuan makes his grand entrance, leaving Chu Si to whisper, "Brother." Our boy lands, cool as ever, handing his sister a new Fae and telling her to trust him. Her teacher is immediately skeptical, still trying to push the weirdly colored dog as the safer bet. This senior bully just loses it, laughing his head off at this last-minute drama. But Lin Yuan just tells his sister any Fae will do, completely unbothered by the peanut gallery. This senior scoffs that it does not matter what she summons, then brings out his own bronze tier power King Beetle, a real beast. This has the teacher seriously worried, recognizing the beetle's raw strength. While Chu Si is just stunned, asking Lin Yuan how he could possibly afford a bronze tier Fae, he just gives her a reassuring head pat, telling her to focus on the fight. So with her resolve hardened, she presses the button on the containment box. Determined not to let her brother's faith go to waste, a flash of light confirms the contract is instantly established, and out pops the massive iron bull, surprising everyone in the arena. Her opponent just laughs it off, calling it an expensive but useless show, but Chu Si hops on her new partner, ready to prove him wrong. Immediately, the teacher geeks out, identifying it as a rare defensive-type bull, and her new Fae charges in, only to have its attack easily parried by the beetle. This lets the senior gloat about his offensive type's clear superiority, as his beetle unleashes a powerful horn ram, slamming into the bull, forcing Chu Si to channel her own energy to help it hold steady. Her ability to assist her Fae actually surprises the senior, who admits she has talent, though her teacher thinks the direct attack was a reckless rookie mistake. Lin Yuan, however, sees it as a clever tactical probe of the enemy's defenses. And then the bull starts running circles around the beetle, a move that makes zero sense for a tank. This senior bully scoffs at their tactics, thinking he is some kind of master strategist, while his beetle just keeps wailing on the bull, which is apparently talking to Chu Si. And with glowing red eyes, the guy delivers some prime villain monologue, before slamming his bug into the bull with a massive crash. Chu Si braces for the impact, clearly feeling the force of the blow. As the crowd goes wild over the beetle's famous one-hit kill power, even the teacher is panicking, thinking Chu Si's efforts are totally futile, convinced the bull is just going to get ground down by the unfair assault. Lin Yuan, however, is just chilling. This is exactly what he planned for, and at that moment Chu Si gives the signal, shouting that now's the time, activating the bull's exclusive trait, pain absorption. Suddenly, the bull's wounds just vanish, leaving the audience completely baffled. But the teacher recognizes the ultra-rare skill, her mind totally blown. Our boy is just beaming with pride, impressed with his sister's battlefield instincts. This senior bully, however, is just furious, calling it a tougher punching bag and ordering more attacks. So the bull just stands there, tanking hit after hit without losing any steam, which has the entire student body just staring in stunned silence. Her teacher starts yelling at Lin Yuan for picking a Fae with no counter, but he just smiles, telling her to trust the plan. So losing his patience, the senior orders his beetle to go for the final blow with maximum force, launching a massive energy beam straight at the unmoving bull. But Chu Si unleashes her own move, commanding the bull to use rock horn, which has the teacher wondering if that is even legal, while Lin Yuan just smirks. This senior bully screams about dirty tricks, ordering his beetle to just break through, and his bug smashes through the rocks, glowing with pure rage energy. Undeterred, Chu Si orders another charge, meeting the attack head-on, and the two monsters collide in a massive, screen-shaking impact, leaving the crowd absolutely stunned that the iron bull held its ground. People are just baffled how they are suddenly evenly matched. So the teacher helpfully explains the beetle's reckless attack is also damaging itself, basically calling it a glass cannon that never learned how to fight a real tank. Lin Yuan knew it all along. This kind of build is useless if it cannot win immediately. At that moment, the beetle slips, which looks like a lucky break, but the teacher is quick to correct them. It is just bad balance, read a textbook sometime. Her opponent is now having a full-on tantrum, blaming heaven for his terrible strategy. His beetle stares down its opponent, completely unaware its master is having a breakdown, and the bull easily deflects the beetle's legs, throwing it off balance, sending the mighty Power King beetle flying helplessly into the air. This teacher immediately panics, screaming for Chu Ci to dodge, but Chu Ci is cool as a cucumber, ordering her bull to set the final trap, and the beetle crashes face first into a rock pillar, a truly graceful defeat. This beetle is out, the match is over, and the senior bully's face is a priceless work of art. Chu Ci gets the win, finally giving the first years something to cheer about, and her teacher is now a full-blown fangirl, gushing about the brilliant rock-flipping strategy. In a heartwarming moment, Chu Ci just collapses into her brother's arms, but the hug immediately turns into an interrogation. She is demanding to know where he got the cash. Lin Yuan just smiles, assuring her he is healthy and that business is booming. When the teacher cuts in with a huge offer, a spot in the Prodigy preliminaries, she explains this is the fast track to the national stage, a massive opportunity for Chu Ci. So our boy thanks her, promising to fund everything while Chu Ci gets the rest of the day off. As for the weird dog, the teacher happily adopts it, problem solved, I guess. That night, Chu Ci is still suspicious, so Lin Yuan reminds her about his new spiritual senses, then shows her his bank balance, and the sheer number of zeros blows her mind. With her worries gone, he tells her to focus on school while he preps for his own big exam, and they decide to celebrate with hot pot, just two siblings enjoying a win. Meanwhile, the teacher is having a much less relaxing time with her new, very loud dog. As a black bird speeds through the night sky, carrying our boy away again. On the ride back, Lin Yuan reflects on his own goals. He's got a tough exam to study for. His to-do list involves buying a mountain of books, a job he is totally outsourcing to Genius the cat. And thinking back, he realizes Chu Ci's stable energy was the foundation of her victory, but leveling up his own power is a problem. Mobius's special trait is just too draining for now. Lin Yuan realizes his power drain means he is back to square one, and his ride home is suddenly going at ludicrous speed. Turns out his delivery guy is just terrified of getting a bad review for being late, leaving his poor bird mount completely gassed from the effort. This guy just gives a thumbs up, insisting everything's fine while his Fae looks dead. Back home, Lin Yuan sees his massive haul and decides online shopping is way safer, then bursts through the door to greet his pets, who are both overjoyed and a little miffed he was gone so long. One of them immediately launches itself at him for a hug, but while he is cuddling Sound, Genius the cat is radiating pure jealousy. He tries to calm the furball down, but Genius demands the right to be angry for 2 days, a binding contract apparently. Lin Yuan just smirks, totally prepared for this level of pettiness, and pulls out a special apology snack just for the cat, whose anger instantly evaporates at the delicious smell. So much for principles. Now the cat's drooling while Sound asks where its treat is, so he presents the bird with its own special potted plant. With his pets happily munching, Lin Yuan gets to work sorting his delivery, and finds himself surrounded by an absolute forest of potted plants. Sound points out one that looks a little different from the rest, and he finds a note. It is a buy 100 get 1 free deal for a rare flower. He checks the stats on the freebie flower, realizing it is a jasmine lily, a perfect support type for him, and holds up the glowing pot, totally hyped about his new healing fae. Telling his pets to stay put, he heads upstairs for some quality plant bonding time. Alone in his room, our boy rolls up his sleeves, ready to get to work, and activates his exclusive skill, Lock Spirit, pouring energy into the little succulent. Even though he is not fully rested, he is all in, no turning back now. In a flash of light, the contract is instantly established. He is thrilled there is no mental drain this time, meaning he can just power level it. An hour later, the plant is Elite Grade 1 and Lin Yuan is totally wiped out. This successful level up has him wondering about his own gear Mobius, and boom, a status screen shows Mobius has leveled up too, gaining new skills. A sudden surge of power erupts from him as the bracelet levels up. Whoa. He is instantly transported to Mobius's inner world, which has apparently doubled in size. A mysterious voice suddenly calls out his name from the void. Lin Yuan just smiles, recognizing Mobius's voice and apologizing for the long wait. Time for a quick lesson. Contracting phase normally costs mental power and has a hard limit, but Lin Yuan's special trait lets Mobius foot the bill, bypassing the usual rules. This catch. For 10 years, this power made him incredibly weak, basically a dud. And even now, he is admitting he is still not exactly at peak performance. Love the honesty. Back in the spirit space, he asks his newly chatty bracelet what is up. Mobius manifests its spirit form, explaining it was once an elite grade being, and confirms this pocket dimension is Lin Yuan's personal training ground. Lin Yuan points to a pool, confused by its lack of energy. It is just plain water, which leaves our boy completely baffled by the useless-looking feature. Mobius then drops some ancient wisdom that water attracts wealth, totally breaking his brain. To test a theory, he tosses a low-grade energy stone into the pool, and the stone immediately starts pumping out pure spiritual energy. His spirit guide explains the space has 100% energy efficiency, unlike the outside world. A revelation that has Lin Yuan practically vibrating. It is a perfect power leveling chamber. But then reality hits. This whole setup is going to cost an absolute fortune. Their time is up, as Mobius can only maintain this form for half an hour a day. In its final moments, the spirit apologizes for crippling Lin Yuan for a decade. Lin Yuan just smiles, saying those hard years actually gave him perspective. Now filled with hope, he knows he's got a long journey ahead of him, and he cracks his knuckles, ready to face any challenge that comes his way, only to be immediately defeated by his one true unstoppable force, sleep. This next morning, he is back at it, looking like a zombie while tending to his new plant, while his pets are on the clock, with Genius handling the online shopping. Lin Yuan spends the day pouring his power into his new army of succulents, and finally looks up, shocked to see the entire day has just vanished. After a long day, he finds his pets have completely taken over his bed, and he gently tucks them in, muttering about needing more spiritual materials. Then it is back to the grind, quietly shutting the door behind him. All his recent training pays off, allowing him to save some weak spider phase. 7 days later, a very stressed-looking man shows up at his shop. This guy, Yang Mingkai, is literally praying for a miracle to save his business. He is desperate for 100 high-quality plants, a nearly impossible order to fill. Peeking inside, he is bracing himself for total, soul-crushing disappointment. But it is just Lin Yuan, greeting him with a calm, friendly smile. Yang is just hoping for 30 pots, anything to keep his new breeding base from failing. And then he sees it, an entire room full of perfectly cultivated, glowing succulents. His jaw absolutely hits the floor as Lin Yuan confirms the whole order is ready. This guy just breaks down, grabbing Lin Yuan's hands and weeping about being saved. After composing himself, he offers to pay any price, but Lin Yuan sticks to the original deal. This simple kindness sends him into another crying fit. He has found his destined benefactor. Yang gets way too close, intensely agreeing to the price, which definitely weirds our boy out. With his plant secured, the grateful customer heads off to finally start his dream project. Lin Yuan just muses that this whole creation master gig seems to make people really happy. Looking at the empty shelves, he decides it is time to restock and asks Genius about the Star Web registration. When a sudden crash from upstairs has him bolting, wondering what on earth just broke. He races upstairs to find Genius has leveled up and is having a crisis about being too fluffy. Lin Yuan just scoops him up, congratulating his newly elite-grade cat, who of course claims he just thought his natural genius was kicking in, not a level up. With his memory now 5 times stronger, Genius is ready for some serious data crunching. And after the cat's confident salute, Lin Yuan remembers to check on his other pet. Just in time to hear Sound having a complete and total meltdown. This bird thinks it is shrinking, but our boy quickly realizes it is another level up. And its new stats show it is now a wind-type fighter, which is a bit of a surprise. Genius then presents a piece of evidence from their secret testing while he was out. Apparently they have been practicing Sound's new spike attack on a wooden board. For the live demo, Genius volunteers to hold the target, much to Lin Yuan's concern. But the cat is brimming with misplaced confidence in the bird's aim. A volley of spikes completely misses the board, nearly taking Genius's head off, so much for accuracy. After comforting the terrified cat, Lin Yuan decides to test the next skill, Turbulence. This time, Sound unleashes a massive vortex of wind, absolutely shredding the target. Leaving Lin Yuan stunned by the sheer power, this bird is officially a battle pet. Just then, another delivery arrives, piling on even more work for them, and the delivery guy asks if he will test his own skills, but Lin Yuan's focused on his tired bird. He gently puts the exhausted Sound to bed, telling Genius its turn is coming up, which has the cat practically vibrating with excitement, ready for any task. First on the agenda, feeding the 2 web-spraying spiders he rescued. A task Genius attempts only to be paralyzed with fear, "Please do not bite me," which Lin Yuan finds endlessly amusing, noting that arachnophobia is apparently universal. After a good laugh, he gets serious, unleashing his power to level them up, and the 2 spiders immediately start glowing with different auras, signaling their advancement. In a blur of motion, they begin spinning webs like crazy, quickly encasing themselves in cocoons for their evolution. 2 hours later, the cocoons start to crack, and they emerge with completely different upgrades. One is poisonous, the other has super sticky webs. Lin Yuan is just thrilled with the results of his work, and with that handled, it is time to finally check out their new online shop. Genius reveals it left the most important decision to him, naming the store, so our boy furiously types away, crafting the perfect brand, landing on "You will not lose out face shop," a name so cheesy Genius is mortified. With the hardware installed, they get ready to test the system, starting by scanning their Star Web card to get online. This cool scanning effect gets an impressed nod from Lin Yuan, who immediately starts cataloging his inventory of glowing plants. Next up are the most important items, the newly evolved spiders, who try to make a run for it, forcing Lin Yuan into a sneak attack scan. Lin Yuan gets zapped into the Star Web, and Genius explains this is no ordinary online shop. He is stunned by the massive virtual storefront, which is apparently a real place made of data. When he asks why it is so bare, Genius deadpans that decorations cost extra brutal. Our boy messes with the holographic menu while the cat sarcastically praises capitalism. Deciding to explore instead of going broke, he taps the move button to head out. They are suddenly on a crowded virtual street, and Genius immediately tells him not to wander off. This cat points out a furniture store, so Lin Yuan figures they might as well browse. Inside, a robot clerk greets them, much to the cat's suspicion. It is a talking metal block. Lin Yuan confidently asks for some stands and a massive 15-meter counter. This requested furniture materializes in a flash of light, looking way too expensive for his budget. And yep, the price tag gives him a full-blown panic attack, swearing he could just build it himself. Humbled, he asks for the absolute cheapest chairs they have, just so future customers can sit down. But even a simple stool costs a fortune, and the robot confirms prices are non-negotiable. Lin Yuan just sighs, realizing you cannot haggle with a machine as Genius sulks on his shoulder. With decorating off the table, he decides to hit the bookstore for his creation master exam texts. Surrounded by endless shelves, he immediately pawns the research off on Genius. This robot lists off a massive curriculum, and Genius calculates they need exactly 327 books. He pays with a data chip and signs a knowledge NDA while the cat is already deep in study mode. With their business done, Lin Yuan thinks a robot helper would be pretty cool for their own shop, and they are teleported back to their empty store, knowledge in hand. Their first customer teleports in, a girl with a bee hat and a whole lot of attitude. Lin Yuan plays it cool, apologizing for the lack of a robot butler, but she cuts right to the chase, demanding a price for his 2 new spiders. Our boy short-circuits for a second. Did she just call him Mister? She immediately upgrades the insult to Uncle, and Genius is absolutely losing it on the floor. Trying to get back on track, Lin Yuan introduces the sticky web spider, then unveils the big poison type for dramatic effect, scaring her right off her feet. In the fall, her hat flies off, revealing she is as bald as a cue ball. Whoops. Lin Yuan is fighting for his life not to call her a boiled egg, trying to be professional, but Genius has zero chill and just blurts it out for everyone to hear. This sends the poor girl into a full-blown shame spiral, forcing Lin Yuan to grab his cat by the scruff and demand an apology. After a moment, she collects herself, ready to make a statement. Explaining her hair loss is just a temporary side effect from a spider sting, not that Genius cares. He pivots, asking if she actually likes spider-type phase, and she suddenly grabs his arm with a terrifying amount of intensity. Turns out she absolutely despises spiders, which makes her shopping trip a little confusing. She explains it is a mismatched affinity, she can only contract spiders, a cruel twist of fate. Lin Yuan realizes this gives her a massive range of potential evolutions. Plus, that spider sting apparently gave her some kind of money power treatment. Lin Yuan just thinks to himself that yeah, he totally told her to go hide in a hole, but he quickly backpedals, realizing this is a serious business inquiry. She is not impressed though, calling his 2 evolved spiders way too weak for her needs. Apparently, she wants a spider with super strong control abilities, leaving our boy baffled. She specifies a rare trait, transparent webs, and Lin Yuan realizes she is loaded. And then it hits him with his powers, he might actually be able to pull this off. He confidently offers to custom make some epic-grade spiders for her, but she just gets more suspicious, calling him uncle and a handsome-faced scammer. Lin Yuan is internally raging but tells himself he is only taking the job out of pure kindness, so he plays it cool, telling her to go look elsewhere and turning to leave, which immediately gets her to panic and grab his shirt. She desperately asks if he really has a way, but he just plays hard to get. Now she is practically begging, asking to add him as a friend to secure the deal. Our boy is loving his reverse psychology win but just tells her to come back to the shop. She apologizes, explaining the empty store looks sketchy and promises not to haggle. With the deal back on, they exchange their glowing star web cards, and she immediately laughs at his username, which he is not thrilled about. He fires back a snarky comment about her name, and she is aghast he'd insult a customer. They bicker over who is more important, the custom shop or the paying client. Finally, she sends a deposit and huffs off, leaving him with a brand new order. Lin Yuan checks his phone, absolutely floored by the massive deposit from his new client. And Genius immediately starts dreaming of a new sound system, but our boy explains it is just an escrow. Then their balance takes a nosedive, 1 whole Radiance coin just for the base spiders, which sends the cat into a full-blown panic over their sudden cash flow problem. Lin Yuan, however, knows his unique evolution skills are the real reason this deal is even possible. With their funds so low, he tells a sulking Genius that a fancy robot helper is off the table for now, and he tries to stay positive, banking on the boiled eggs order to get them properly funded. Genius just scampers off to play, leaving Lin Yuan to promise he will earn all the money back soon. Fired up, he heads to a special room to consult his spirit guide about his own power-up, entering a misty mindscape to ask a being named Mo for advice on his next fae. This glowing spirit appears, lecturing him that true strength is the only way to make real money, and the kid totally gets it, now more determined than ever to level himself up. So he asks Mo for its opinion on the fae he's been considering for days. Revealing his choice is a spirit-absorbing goldfish, which sounds underwhelming. Lin Yuan is surprised when Mo agrees to the plan without any argument at all. Though the spirit adds one tiny catch, this fish needs 10 times the normal energy to evolve. Our boy explains he chose it specifically to help Mo recover its own weak mental power. And touched by the gesture, Mo leaves the final decision entirely up to him. Back on the star web, Lin Yuan immediately starts searching for his new pet. But while tons of shops pop up, they all sell basic goldfish. He needs an elite grade one. Lin Yuan cuts to the chase, filtering for only the highest level fae shops, and immediately finds a massive virtual aquarium that blows his mind. Inside, he is already taking notes on the slick design, definitely stealing these ideas. This shop owner greets him, and thank God it is a real person, not another talking block. He gets straight to business, asking for a spirit-absorbing goldfish. She shows him the tank, pointing out the one elite-grade fish that costs a fortune. Our boy gets immediate sticker shock, even the normal ones cost more than his evolved spiders. This owner explains these fish are notoriously hard to evolve, so nobody bothers. She tells him to just call her sister Xin, leaving the choice entirely up to his eye. Lin Yuan starts analyzing their potential, looking for one with a dragon bloodline. He is already scheming about how to use his spirit space to mass-produce these things. And after all that deep thought, he picks the derpiest-looking fish in the entire tank perfect. With his new pet chosen, he realizes he needs to test his spirit space's energy capacity. So he casually asks for some energy ore, starting with a cool 2,000 jin, which sends the shop owner into a state of absolute jaw-on-the-floor shock. Lin Yuan just plays it cool, ready to pay, while she is convinced he is some hidden whale. She even tries to upsell him on some pricey butterfly shells for his new fish. And just like that, his entire bank account is wiped clean down to 0 Radiance coins. Thoroughly impressed, she offers to add him on StarWeb for future big spender orders. And she is already predicting his next shopping list. This woman knows her business. Lin Yuan cheerfully tells her the low-grade energy ore is perfectly fine for his needs, though an internal monologue notes that buying this much implies a massive breeding operation. This owner, seeing a whale on the hook, immediately offers him a special VIP service, which includes sourcing heavily injured phase, and now our boy is very interested. She gives him a 3-week timeline, which works out perfectly for his own financial plans. About to leave, Lin Yuan asks why such a great shop is completely empty, and she points to a screen explaining everyone's watching a major tournament. This is not just any match, it is for the Radiance 100, the absolute top dogs. With his business concluded, he waves goodbye as she confirms his delivery details. He immediately tries to buy a ticket, finding only the expensive seats left, and he is going. This is the perfect chance to see what the pros are like and how big the gap really is. He teleports into a massive glowing arena as the crowd chants for 2 different champions. Our boy is already winded, complaining about having to climb stairs in a virtual world, and he is totally baffled by the crowd, who seem to be cheering for both sides at once. Then he spots a familiar bee hat in the stands. It is his first client, Bull Cloudstream. She seems to notice him, her eyes wide with surprise behind her binoculars. In the next second, she has got them aimed right at his face, calling him uncle again. He asks who she is supporting, but she just says she will be happy no matter who wins. Lin Yuan, ever the smooth operator, just smirks and claims he feels the exact same way. She is ecstatic they are on the same page, while he is just hoping she does not realize he has no idea who is fighting. After a moment of truly awkward silence between them, she gets all defensive, but Lin Yuan just smirks back at her, so she offers him her binoculars, insisting he watch the fight properly. He accepts, thinking she is actually kind of nice under all that attitude, and peering into the arena, he immediately starts analyzing their combat styles. One side has 2 massive bears, while the other has a pair of healing-type plants. Cloudstream then puts him on the spot, asking for his expert prediction. Our boy just gives the safest answer possible, betting on the higher rank. Down below, the bear tamer orders a massive fire punch from her fae, which erupts in a huge ball of molten energy. But the little plant monster just takes the hit, completely unfazed. Its tamer calmly orders a countermove, and a wave of ice instantly snuffs out the flames, total shutdown. This attacker realizes she has to break their synergy, ordering a new assault. Her molten bear powers up for another fiery barrage, unleashing a rapid-fire charge shot at its target. Meanwhile, Cloudstream is giving him a play-by-play on the offense versus defense matchup. Lin Yuan chimes in, confidently stating the higher-ranked healer has the edge, and sure enough, the healer, White Devil, is ranked way up at number 19, her opponent. Shiranui is not giving up though, promising the fight's just getting started. This 2 bears unleash a full-on beatdown on the plant fae. And Shiranui smirks, taunting that her opponent must be running on empty. Lin Yuan starts to think a healer cannot possibly outlast a pure damage dealer, but the healer White Devil just calmly schools her opponent on the massive rank difference. Then she unleashes a snow chill, powering up her plant monster with icy energy, and a massive ice prison erupts from the arena floor, trapping the bears. Her little plant buddy unleashes an absolute frost seal, talk about a glow-up. One of the giant fire bears is now a very angry popsicle. Even Shiranui is impressed she could pull off such a big move this late in the game. Both bears are frozen solid, though the plant phase look a little worse for wear too. Lin Yuan points out the seal is temporary, but Cloudstream reminds him she is a asterisk healer asterisk. Right on cue, White Devil summons a swarm of revival butterflies, which immediately start mending her 2 plant phase with glowing energy. In the stands, everyone's losing their minds as the phase are instantly battle-ready again. Shiranui gives her props, but you can tell she has got one more trick up her sleeve. She strikes a pose, declaring she is the one who is gonna win this thing. Turns out her giant bear is platinum tier, a massive level advantage. White Devil seems caught off guard for a second, her staff still stuck in the ice. This bear's raw power shatters the frost seal completely. But White Devil just summons a swarm of red butterflies, looking totally unbothered. Shiranui declares she trained a special move specifically to break through her opponent's defenses, but White Devil just calmly unleashes her swarm of red butterflies, which immediately blitz the giant bear, piercing it from every angle, and the poor thing just roars in agony as it gets absolutely shredded. Shiranui watches in total shock as her ace in the hole gets dismantled. This battle is decided, White Devil takes the win, leaving her opponent on her knees. Shiranui concedes defeat, impressed that her rival evolved a fae mid-match, With a smile, White Devil corrects her they are calamity butterflies now and offers a hand. This two shake a moment of pure sportsmanship as the crowd cheers for both fighters. Up in the stands, Cloudstream is absolutely losing it, strangling Lin Yuan in her excitement. Our boy is just floored, realizing this is the true power of the Radiance Federation's best. She waves goodbye, reminding him not to slack off on her spider order. Lin Yuan is still thinking about the fight, amazed a gold-tier healer beat a platinum-tier attacker. Then he recalls seeing a special rune that can evolve healers into a fantasy species, and his mind immediately jumps to his own little plant, the jasmine lily. Back home, he is nursing a headache, clearly feeling the mental drain from all the day's events. He is drawn upstairs by a commotion, finding Genius and Chimey at his computer. Genius tries to play it cool, saying they were just finding some new tunes for the bird. Lin Yuan, completely oblivious, just tells the cat to move so he can use the PC. This two pets start sweating, with Genius's inner monologue revealing it's secretly registered an account, and our boy does not know a thing. Lin Yuan's back to the grind, planning to auction his evolved spiders for some quick cash. Then the doorbell rings. It is Ostrich Logistics, complete with a very literal, very angry-looking ostrich. A supervisor starts yelling at the new delivery girl to hurry up with the valuables, and our boy just smirks, knowing these valuables are the foundation of his future empire. This new girl immediately fumbles the box, sending his new fish flying. Great start. His derpy little goldfish is about to become a very expensive floor stain, but Genius the cat springs into action, ready for a heroic save, catching the bowl with its face. Not graceful, but it absolutely works. Lin Yuan holds his soaked cat, who is now presenting the fish bowl like a trophy, while Chimey swoops in, carrying the actual fish on its back like an emergency airlift. This delivery crew is mortified, but Lin Yuan just plays it cool, disaster averted. He surveys his mountain of energy ore as Genius wonders if they are opening a farm. Lin Yuan announces he is going into seclusion, leaving Genius to study on his account, and the cat looks busted. First order of business, he activates his spirit lock on the new goldfish, pouring his energy directly into the bowl to force an evolution, and an hour later it is already elite grade, though it drank a ton of spirit chi. Now he has got a new problem: how to move a literal ton of ore by himself. 2 days later, the fish is happily swimming in a massive, glowing spirit pool, where a spirit form being reminds a totally drained Lin Yuan that it did most of the heavy lifting. This spirit explains the space is now maxed out on energy, 5 times denser than the real world. This spirit notes the goldfish is a future cash cow, constantly absorbing energy. While Lin Yuan daydreams about a dragon evolution, but the spirit reminds him he is broke. Admitting his cash flow problem, he starts hauling ore into the spirit space, explaining he needs to diversify his shop beyond just the basic spiders. This reason for all this: the spirit space has a 5x evolution speed boost, so he gets right to work, pouring his energy into the first spider, and in a flash a whole batch of them hit epic quality, a literal monster assembly line. He is thrilled, having cut a 12-hour job down to just 2. Just then, a notification chimes in. It is payday, the spiders sold, and now he has got $signs in his eyes. He then notices a weird tip notification, something he has never seen before, and reading a strangely familiar message, he suddenly realizes what is up and bolts upstairs. He catches Genius and Chimey red-handed at his computer, who insist they were studying a likely story. With a terrifying look, he says he is going to check their homework as the pets freak out, only to find his little bird is a famous beauty streamer and his brain just short-circuits. Later that night, things have calmed down, at least on the outside. Lin Yuan is now at his desk, deep in research, looking up old news about a dimensional rift that opened near his hometown 10 years ago. Then an urgent bulletin flashes across the screen: a new rift just opened in the exact same place, and the situation is already escalating, with a high-tier monster breaking through containment. This news update is grim. A bone-rot silkworm has caused massive casualties, with dozens of team members missing. Lin Yuan's eyes widen as he recognizes the name, picturing the horrific little worms from the report. He knows its signature move is a bone plague, a self-destruct that takes out everything nearby. This whole disaster makes him think of his guardian, Uncle Lee, and a secret he has been hiding. Looking at a box his uncle left behind, he realizes the old man was part of the Spirit Suppression Bureau. Inside are 2 broken, blood-stained badges, relics of a past he never knew existed. A quick mental recap confirms the Bureau is the last line of defense against these dimensional invasions. He holds one of the badges, wondering why his parents hid this life from him. Then he spots a familiar number. It is 2837, and he immediately suspects it might be his parents' old Bureau ID. So naturally, he hops on the computer to do some light, classified government snooping. What could go wrong? He is immediately met with a massive red warning sign flashing across his screen. Our boy has triggered some kind of restricted access alert, and with his guardians out, he is on his own. Lying in bed, he connects the dots. Uncle Lee's old injuries must be from that rift incident 10 years ago. At that moment, a quiet, deliberate knock comes from his bedroom door. He sits up, startled, but then realizes his aunt would never knock so softly. Getting up, he rules out his friends, growing more suspicious about this late-night visitor. Then the knocking pattern changes, and his mind jumps straight to "they found my secret and are here to kidnap me." His pets are on high alert too, with Genius asking if he is in some kind of business trouble. Ever the pragmatist, Lin Yuan preps Chimey for an ambush, ordering a full-on sound assault the second the door opens. Peeking through the crack, he cautiously asks who is looking for him. This visitors are two agents and they immediately drop his parents' names. He is completely thrown, but the woman flashes a golden badge to prove they are legit. Turns out they are from the Spirit Suppression Bureau, and his little hacking attempt was a homing beacon. Our boy immediately asks the big question, what about his parents? This agent explains the post-drift chaos made it hard to find him, then hands over a blood-stained memento. Lin Yuan takes the cloth, his face a mix of shock and dread, and on it is a message written in blood, a final wish for him to have a good life. He instantly recognizes his mother's handwriting, his expression softening. This agent clarifies his guardians kept this secret to protect him from the Bureau's dangerous work. Wiping a tear, Lin Yuan says he gets it, they just wanted him to be safe. This man puts a hand on his shoulder, promising to look out for him from now on. But then the woman coughs, which seems to jog her partner's memory about something. He presents a box, explaining it is something his parents earned through their service. Inside is a glowing green gem, a source seed, apparently. Aunt Sue explains that these source items are rare treasures left behind when a rift finally closes. And this little thing is powerful enough to seal a whole level 2 rift. Talk about a parting gift. After they leave, a monk-like customer wraps up his business, calling Lin Yuan a benefactor. Then a new customer appears, a girl with red pigtails asking if he can heal Faye's. He is intrigued and she explains her Faye is seriously hurt, its very essence is damaged. Lin Yuan considers it, thinking he can probably fix it if the Faye is below silver tier. This girl with red pigtails is thrilled, saying her daughter's Faye might finally be saved, and Lin Yuan's brain just blue screens trying to figure out how this teenager is a mom. She pulls up a hologram of the problem, a bronze tier Faye with a root scorched by a demon. Our boy knows that kind of demonic flame is nasty, attacking a plant's very essence. She bows, admitting she is short on cash, but he just tells her to bring it next month. In fact, he does not want money at all, just a rare item called Revival Soil. She happily agrees to find the soil for him and waves a cheerful goodbye. Turns out she was just fronting, her mother is the one with the serious connections. Lin Yuan, meanwhile, has a whole shopping list and one item is a real headache. This only place to get the final piece is the super exclusive Rarities Pavilion auction. But first, business, he pings Cloudstream to come pick up her spider order. She immediately bursts in, accusing him of cheating for making 5 epic Fays so fast. Still, she is totally impressed by his luck as she inspects her new giant spider squad. With a smug grin, Lin Yuan confirms the goods are all ready to go. Then he casually warns her that one spider has a venom skill, so she should watch her hair. And she absolutely loses it, pointing at her bald head and yelling that it is almost grown back. After the money is transferred, she storms off, leaving him with enough capital to scale up. He is right back to it, signing for more deliveries to expand his operation. Our boy is all smiles carrying boxes while Genius the cat pretends to be a scholar. Kicking back, Lin Yuan scrolls through his phone, planning his next moves as the business booms. Lin Yuan finds Genius with some seriously strained eyes and the cat's asking about advanced Fey evolution theory. He patiently asks what is confusing and Genius is stuck on how evolution can be for anything other than pure survival. Our boy realizes he needs a practical example to get the point across, so he points to some radishes which Genius confirms Chimey snacks on all the time. He asks how the radish would evolve to survive and Genius suggests becoming a poisonous, leafless husk. Lin Yuan is just staring like, so, a cactus, while Genius looks proud of its uneatable masterpiece. With a smug grin, he tells the cat that is the absolute worst possible answer, then holds up the radish's actual evolution, a cute little plant dragon which Genius did not see coming. This cat's now happily munching on a leaf, realizing it is delicious, and Lin Yuan's like, ding ding ding. He explains the radish's strategy is to be so useful and tasty that everyone wants to protect it. Genius mutters it would still evolve to taste awful, so Lin Yuan decides it is time for a walk to clear their heads. Out in the city, Lin Yuan jokes they have been cooped up way too long with all the online shopping, when a huge broadcast announces the creator certification exam with a new fast-track option for top performers. Lin Yuan is immediately fired up. This is his shot to get ahead and Chimey is ready to help. But then a second bulletin hits. A massive dimensional rift event is coming in 6 months. This news shows the Spirit Suppression Bureau mobilizing and the site triggers a memory. He is a kid again, watching his parents leave on a rainy night, and they promise they will be home by morning, a promise they could not keep. This memory shifts to his uncle, hand covered in blood, struggling to tell him his parents are gone. And then he has to break the news to his little sister that they are never coming back. This memory hits a young Lin Yuan promising to protect his sister after their parents died. Back in the present, he is just gripping that blood-stained bureau badge, and his pets are freaking out, sensing something is deeply wrong with him. He just puts on a brave face, telling them it is time to go home. But in his mind, it all clicks. That emblem was the bureau's mark all along. Later, the agent explains the source seed is perfect for his weak constitution, and Lin Yuan examines the little green gem, a legacy from his parents. This woman suggests he grow a healing Fey to help strengthen his body, which he admits aligns pretty well with his current abilities. But a pure healer will not cut it, he needs something with real firepower. Then they offer him a bank card with a fat stack of cash as a 10-year apology, which Lin Yuan politely tries to refuse, ever the independent kid. As he tries to close the door on them and their guilt money, he insists his 2 pets are all the companionship he needs, a classic cat-on-head defense. This male agent stops him, pulling the "I am older so listen to me" card, then shoves the money into his hand because his feelings are apparently more important. Meanwhile, the woman sizes him up, noting his phase are weak and he has zero combat experience. So her partner offers him a look into his parents' line of work, inviting him on a little field trip to an active dimensional rift, totally safe, probably. Lin Yuan instantly agrees, ready to jump headfirst into the danger he was shielded from. Lin Yuan's resolve hardens, already planning for the beast tide in 6 months. This female agent is impressed, saying his parents would be proud of his spirit. Her partner seems hesitant, but she is all business. He is on cleanup, she is on bodyguard duty. And for transport, she summons a massive spirit beast, much to Lin Yuan's surprise. His eyes glow as he analyzes the creature with his special ability. It is a massive snow owl, a casual summon for a bureau agent. Talk about a company car. Our boy is totally starstruck, and the owl basically promises to make him a big deal too. He asks if his pets can tag along, and the agent just sighs, agreeing to babysit. So now they are all riding a giant fluffy owl, with Genius getting some serious airtime. This majestic bird then rockets them across the night sky. Arriving at the main event, a very angry-looking dimensional rift, their agent buddy flashes his credentials at a military checkpoint to get them inside, and the guard salutes, wishing them luck on their field trip into the monster dimension. Down they go, plunging into a chaotic abyss of purple crystals. While Lin Yuan is taking in the scenery, he hears a not-so-friendly buzzing sound. And a nasty purple insectoid monster pops up for a meet and greet. Before he can even flinch, the male agent is already moving to intercept, crushing the thing bare-handed, which is one way to make an impression. This woman tells him not to sweat it, they are mostly weaklings, but Lin Yuan knows he'd be toast. Meanwhile, his new bodyguard is cracking his knuckles, ready to have some fun with the swarm. This male agent unleashes a massive, shadowy wolf to kick things off. Its paws slam down, cracking the very ground of the rift. Lin Yuan wonders if this is just bait for the real threat, but his new guardian is all about the showmanship, calling it an opening act. With a snap of his fingers, he sends his wolves to hunt, and the shadow beast just tears through the insectoid swarm. Our boy is seriously impressed, thinking this fight alone was worth the trip. This wolf moves like a purple phantom, leaving only destruction behind. Uncle Dong turns back all smug, calling it easy work. Then Lin Yuan's danger sense goes off, realizing they are being watched. A giant monstrous eye reflects his tiny bird Chimey, revealing a skeletal crow perched on a skull, definitely not a friendly local. Lin Yuan tries to brush it off, saying the run is going smoothly. But a second later he is yelling a warning, shoving his pet to safety. In that moment of panic, he realizes the agents are gone. And his face twists in horror as he understands the situation. This bone crow swoops in for the kill, looking absolutely massive. Meanwhile, the agents are on their owl, commenting on how unusually calm it is, just as a whole murder of these skeletal birds ambushes them. Aunt Sue steps in front of Lin Yuan, telling him to sit tight, they are just small fry. Aunt Sue's giant owl immediately counters, firing off a volley of icy feather daggers. Her partner just stands there, cool as a cucumber, calling it a close shave. But then she gets a bad feeling, realizing Lin Yuan has gone completely silent. Dong checks on him, assuming the kid just fell asleep. Great babysitting, guys. Next thing he knows, Lin Yuan is free-falling through a psychedelic nightmare void. He desperately snags Chimey's hand, trying to stop their plummet. For a split second, it seems like he has got a handle on things, Genius clinging to his chest. Then his grip slips and they are all tumbling into the abyss again. He lands without a single scratch, feeling like the ground itself rose up to catch him. A mysterious voice starts monologuing in his head about the injustice of their worlds. This talking rift beast appears, proposing a little bet for Lin Yuan's soul. A pair of shadow wolves manifest, demanding to know why humans get peace while they rot. Chimey, having none of it, immediately blasts one of the wolves with a light attack. Both pets try to puff out their chests, reminding the enemy they have powerful backup. This monster just mocks them, revealing corrupted versions of the agents under its control. A terrifying, massive eye looms over the pets as the illusion's master shows its face. They are instantly pinned by shadowy paws, screaming for Lin Yuan to run for his life. Our boy just stands up, fist clenched, trying to figure out where his guardians vanished to. With a sudden calm, he calls the bluff. This is all an illusion and the agents were never here. This skeletal crow is completely floored as its psychic powers are exposed, wondering how he knew. Lin Yuan points out the illusion still has to obey the laws of physics, but the crow just boasts its copy of Uncle Dong's attack is the real deal. So he orders a combo. Chimey disrupts the ground, Genius strikes the wolves. Little Chimey unleashes a blast of pure turbulence, shattering the earth. And Genius follows up with a massive claw swipe at the staggered wolf, which does absolutely nothing, leaving the cat completely stunned. Our boy just calmly states they're too weak to win this fight anyway. This crow fires back that meaning is for humans, not monsters. Then it levels up mid-illusion, claiming them as its new puppets. A blast sends Lin Yuan flying as the crow monologues about destruction. Its shadow wolves pin him down, continuing the angsty "why do you get to live" speech. In his hand, that source seed from his parents begins to glow intensely. His pets are getting wrecked, crying out his name in desperation, all while the crow spouts some edgy poetry about destruction being eternity. Then a massive flash of golden light just erupts from nowhere, leaving the bone bird totally baffled by the sudden plot twist. Because Lin Yuan is now floating, backed by a giant energy flower, the source seed fully activated. He smirks, explaining the seed buffs his pets and he can use it too. That little plant dragon from before manifests, ready to finish this, and it fires a massive beam straight for the crow's beak. This bone crow dissolves, admitting defeat. Guess its luck finally ran out. Lin Yuan understands now that rift beasts are pure slaughter, so fighting is the only way. Then Uncle Dong's voice snaps him out of it, asking if the ravens were too scary. Our boy just plays it cool, holding his pets like he did not just win a war in his own head. His guardians totally buy that he was just worn out, deciding it is time to go home. As they fly off, he is already asking where he can start his training montage. Back in his room, he is finally passed out, getting some much-needed rest. This next morning, it is experiment time. He plants the source seed in a pot of energy crystals. He recalls the seed evolved with his blood before, deducing a contract is the key. So logically, he just slices his own palm open without a moment's hesitation. He lets his blood drip into the pot, determined to grow something with real teeth. That little sprout immediately starts chugging his blood like an energy drink. A psychic link forms, and he is slammed with the plant's overwhelming hunger for more, which is a bit too much, leaving him looking like he just saw his own tax return. He has to use his own healing ability just to stop himself from bleeding out for a houseplant. After all that drama, it evolves into a pink dolphin rose hybrid, because of course it does. He thinks out loud that it'd be perfect if it had a mouth like the illusion monsters. And just like that, it sprouts a terrifying shark grin, ask and you shall receive. He tries feeding his new predator plant a radish, which gets a hard no. But when he offers an energy crystal, the little monster is suddenly very interested. Lin Yuan is literally hooked up to in Roman 4, feeding his new plant his own blood. Talk about a demanding houseplant. His cat Genius peeks in, wondering why he is not asleep yet. Lin Yuan just plays it cool, saying he is fine and yesterday was way harder on them. He then introduces Genius to the new dolphin plant, Redthorn, their newest teammate. Genius is immediately jealous, asking when it is going to get a power-up like that. Our boy tells them to be patient, promising a huge transformation once they hit bronze tier. Chimey zips into the room, not wanting to miss out on the evolution gossip. With both pets maxed out at elite rank, the next goal is clear: break through to bronze. A week later, they are outside and Chimey is mentally prepared for its glow-up. Lin Yuan feels his own power surging, ready to help his pet evolve. He fires a beam of pure energy at Chimey, starting the transformation. A stat screen reveals 3 potential evolution paths for the little bird. Remembering that swarm of bone crows, Lin Yuan knows he needs an area of effect skill, so he chooses a weather control ability to counter large groups. Chimey's first thought after evolving is that it can finally start a live streaming career. Genius starts bouncing off the walls, hyped for its turn. As the energy flows, Lin Yuan asks if it is too much, but the cat just yells, "Do not stop." He pushes forward, noting that Genius's energy is surprisingly stable. But then the cat's face scrunches up, complaining about a ticklish nose, and it evolves with a massive sneeze, leaving Lin Yuan completely baffled. Genius checks out its new look, getting 3 evolution options to choose from. Lin Yuan weighs the skills. 2 are safe combat buffs, but one's a total wild card. This cat, insisting it is not a fighter, immediately picks the biggest gamble of the 3. Our boy is just completely baffled by this all-or-nothing logic. With peak drama, Genius is ready to sacrifice its own tail for the bold choice. This grand transformation happens and it turns into a pair of glasses. He pops them on, doing the obligatory cool guy glasses push. And suddenly he has got a full HUD on Chimey, reading its mind, stats, and even its snack cravings. His jaw just hits the floor, realizing the sheer power of this upgrade. A quick scan of his new plant reveals its only thought is feed me rift beasts, so he immediately calls his contact, asking for a bulk order of monster corpses. This woman on the other end is totally unfazed, like he just ordered 100 pizzas. After hanging up, she is seriously curious about what kind of messed up pet project he is running. A delivery later, he is feeding his little plant a whole bucket of bug parts. Redthorn's terrifying mouth opens wide, drooling and ready to devour everything. This plant just inhales the entire meal in seconds, shocking Lin Yuan with its appetite. It immediately starts glowing and sprouts 2 more heads. Yep, it is evolving again. A stat screen confirms the upgrade to elite rank with a devouring maw skill. Now it is just grabbing food for itself as the other pets watch in disgusted awe. Lin Yuan does the math and realizes this new pet's food bill is going to bankrupt his entire shop. He checks his account and is absolutely floored by how much money he has made. Turns out his online shop is a massive hit, with items selling out instantly. A furious customer is already back, demanding more rare spiders and throwing cash at him. Just as he is heading out, his pets pop up, demanding to join the supply run. They are itching for a real fight, tired of being helpless bystanders. Lin Yuan jokes about them becoming heroes, but Genius has a specific role model in mind. This cat starts reciting the legend of a hero who single-handedly fought off a rift. Our boy is just impressed by the history lesson. Genius is a total news junkie, apparently. As they arrive at the supplier, an argument is already raging inside. A manager is getting grilled by her staff for trusting some shady new online shop. And right on cue, Lin Yuan strolls in, cheerfully interrupting their lively discussion. This boss immediately plays it cool, pretending it was just a passionate brainstorming session. He then drops a shopping list so huge the employees look like they have seen a ghost. Suddenly, those same doubters are bowing to him. Funny what a fat wallet can do. This manager then offers him an even rarer prize, a pregnant elite-tier goldfish. She explains it is basically a 1,000-egg money printer perfect for his unique setup. He takes the deal, which only confirms her suspicion that he is backed by a master. With his shopping spree complete, he waves goodbye, leaving them all stunned. Outside, he tells his pets it is time to test their new strength at the Star Tower. Their destination is a massive high-tech arena, a paradise for battle pets. Genius is already planning its victory lap on floor 1000. But the guy at the registration desk is too busy studying to do his actual job. Even the pets are complaining about the terrible service. After filling out the form, Lin Yuan gets a quick scan from the same cheerful employee. This scan reveals his pets are basically trash tier and the guy has absolutely no filter about it. Genius tries to rebrand this as being one of a kind, and our boy just has to roll with it. He scrolls through his own stats, deciding which of his unique pets to register for the fight. Chimey immediately starts asking about fighting top-tier opponents, and the desk guy actually answers, saying they will need to clear at least 100 floors. He then adds a little warning that newbies might get matched with veterans this week, which, instead of scaring them, gets the whole crew totally hyped for a real challenge. Inside the prep room, he is geeking out over the customizable battlefields ready to go. His first opponent has 471 matches, but is somehow still stuck on floor 3. Lin Yuan does the dramatic "I choose you" pose, and Genius is completely unimpressed. An old man steps up, thinking he is about to get an easy win for the month. He immediately sends his armored beetle in for the attack, no holding back. Lin Yuan starts to give a command but just trails off, letting Genius handle it. A moment later, the fight is already over, leaving the old man baffled on the ground. This next match loads in, city ruins at night with destructible buildings, and his new opponent immediately orders a pincer attack with a dog and a boar. This looks tougher. Lin Yuan, rocking his new cat glasses, orders Chimey to attack, and just like that, Chimey's sound waves absolutely shred the competition. This poor guy on the floor cannot believe he lost to a bronze-tier pet. As Lin Yuan gets teleported out, probably thinking this is all way too easy, he tries to hype up Genius for the next round, but the cat is on strike. It is bored out of its mind after 10 straight one-sided stomps, so our boy checks the roster for a real challenge and finds a guy so cocky he is showing off his 3 bronze-tier snakes. Suddenly, the pets are all fired up. A real fight is exactly what they wanted. This whole squad rolls up to the next arena looking like they own the place. Their opponent, a guy with some very questionable hair, is surprised they even showed, immediately mocking them for bringing a cat and a bird to a picnic. Lin Yuan and the crew are just completely unfazed by the trash talk, while the guy keeps running his mouth about how useless a healer bird is. Our boy just cuts him off, saying he talks too much and it is time to fight. This dude actually promises to use 50% power, what an honor. But with his new glasses, Lin Yuan sees the truth. This guy's ego is making his pets sloppy. He orders Chimey to hit all 3 snakes with a precision strike, so the little bird unleashes a volley of sonic daggers right at their weak spots. But the attack gets blocked by an acid mist. Looks like this one can fight back. This opponent keeps running his mouth, mocking the cat glasses and calling the bird a joke. So Lin Yuan orders a precision sound strike right at the python's nose. Getting angry, the guy orders his other snake to unleash a full-on flamethrower. This fire attack completely engulfs Chimey as the dude starts gloating. But our boy is totally calm, activating some kind of spirit-locking ability. For a second, it looks like Chimey's about to be toast, but it zips right through the flames, landing a clean hit on the snake. Lin Yuan then whips out a healing plant, finally ready to go all out. Now the opponent is actually mad, promising to stop being polite. A blue snake lunges in and Lin Yuan yells for Chimey to evade. Dodging a huge blast, he knows his healing has its limits, and that is when the glasses kick in, analyzing the enemy's entire moveset. Armed with new intel, he orders a direct strike on the fire snake's eyes. Chimey expertly weaves through the acid, closing in on the red python. This guy tries to trap the bird, ordering a pincer of fire and mist. It looks like a point-blank fire blast is about to end this. But Lin Yuan spots the perfect opening, calling for a turbulence attack. Chimey's move creates a wild vortex, sucking in both enemy attacks. This other snake just watches, confused, as the attack gets turned around, and the whole thing blows up right in the opponent's face. This opponent kicks his own defeated snake, calling it useless, real classy dude. Lin Yuan, on the other hand, just calmly praises Chimey for its excellent strategy. Then we get a flashback to this guy getting told he is just a glorified guard dog, which explains why he is now sweating bullets, absolutely terrified of losing this. In a rage, he orders his fire python to just blast the dumb bird with everything it has. But Lin Yuan calmly tells Chimey to keep its distance and weave through the flames. And right on cue, the glasses finish their analysis of the python's weakness. A handy little HUD popping up to show the exact spot to hit. This guy is so outmatched. He orders another turbulence while the opponent just screams for more fire, with the glasses providing a perfect targeting trajectory for a sound spike. As the snake opens its mouth for another blast, Lin Yuan sees the perfect opening, and Chimey nails it with a direct sonic hit right on the weak spot. With the second snake down, our boy gives a well-deserved great job, prompting the opponent to whine about tricks and not fighting head-on. Lin Yuan just roasts him for complaining during a 3-on-1, then summons his new goldfish, and the little spirit-absorbing goldfish gives Chimey a direct energy injection. Chimey is loving the power-up, and Lin Yuan thinks this ability is basically a cheat code. But the opponent starts laughing, revealing it was all a trap as his last snake attacks. Lin Yuan yells for Chimey to dodge, realizing his own energy reserves are dangerously low, and the blue snake appears right behind the bird, cutting off its escape completely. This opponent just laughs, gloating that all's fair in battle, but Lin Yuan is ready to gamble, ordering Chimey to use Clear Sky, and the little bird unleashes a blinding beam of pure light, knocking the blue snake right out of the air. It crashes down hard right in front of our boy. But the attack just vanished on impact, leaving the snake totally unharmed. This guy's ego is completely shattered. He is supposed to be crushing rookies, and we see he has got a massive inferiority complex from being called unworthy. So now he is furious, revealing he is a creator too. He orders his last snake to use its ultimate move, and Lin Yuan is just wondering why the pet seems to be hesitating. This dude literally forces his snakes to evolve, fusing them together. And by fusing, I mean one snake is just eating the other one. This blue one then starts swallowing the red one whole, wrapping around it until they are a single horrifying being. Bleeding from the strain, he has created a three-headed snake monster. But Lin Yuan's glasses see the truth. It is an unstable, fake evolution. This guy brags about forcing its original form as Chimey's sound attacks are now useless. So Genius wants to tag in, but Lin Yuan tells it to watch closely. Because the new three-headed monstrosity is already malfunctioning, what a shocker. Lin Yuan calls the final shot a turbulence and sound spike combo, and Chimey just shreds the unstable snake monster to pieces. This opponent can only kneel in disbelief as his creation collapses, while our boy had already figured out the guy's flawed evolution method. Back in the elevator, he admits that was a close one, saved only by his opponent's ego. So he decides to cancel the queue. 20 floors is plenty for one day. But just as he is leaving, another elevator dings open. A new guy in a fancy suit and visor tries to challenge him, but Lin Yuan politely declines, waving goodbye as he walks off, completely over it for the day. Mr. Visor, meanwhile, thinks anyone below floor 80 is literal trash. What a charmer. This whole ordeal has Lin Yuan fired up to power level his other pets. And inside his spirit space, he tells Mobius he is ready to evolve the goldfish. This plan is to use some high-grade dragon beast blood to force its evolution, which, despite the risks, is the only way for it to evolve quickly. Holding the vial, he can feel its terrifying pressure. This is a serious gamble. He carefully drips a single drop of the potent blood into the fishbowl, and the poor little fish immediately starts freaking out from the power surge. Its dragon bloodline awakens, cracking its body as it begins to transform. But Lin Yuan watches intently, knowing pain is just the price of rebirth. This goldfish is now a glowing red orb of energy about to hatch into something new. Lin Yuan channels his energy, telling the little fish to go for it, and with a flash of light, the evolution is a massive success. This goldfish emerges as a dragon type, even sporting a tiny horn. Its new stats pop up, confirming it is now a spirit-gathering goldfish. He gets to choose one of 3 new traits, quickly picking the one that maximizes growth. Another option would create a neat healing combo, but he is set on his own path. Turning his attention to Mobius, he asks how it is doing after all that, and his spirit guide has grown legs. Lin Yuan is completely floored. Mobius explains it needs a long nap to recover from the contract strain. Suddenly, our boy realizes his whole spirit space has doubled in size. He discovers a patch of Elysian soil which can preserve dying pets. This stuff is basically a fantasy iku, keeping a near-death fae stable indefinitely. Lin Yuan knows this is huge. Even master creators cannot always pull that off. Plus, the air is now 10 times richer in spirit energy than the outside world. With these upgrades, he is already dreaming of stocking his shop with gold-tier rarities. Mobius casually adds that he can even summon the magic soil outside his spirit space. This gives Lin Yuan a new idea for unlocking his own spirit mark. For once, Mobius actually praises him for being so gifted, which leaves our boy blushing. When it threatens to stop, he immediately begs for more compliments. Never change, kid. He then vows to hit silver tier by the time Mobius wakes up. Lin Yuan gives Mobius a casual wave, wishing it luck on its nap. And a quick status check confirms his pets are still bronze. Leveling them up is gonna be expensive. Plus, his gold-eater beast has a massive appetite, sending our boy into a full-blown financial panic. So begins the great grind, with Lin Yuan working tirelessly to prep his fae for sale, as his online store absolutely blows up with transactions flooding in non-stop. Despite the success, he is running on fumes, barely keeping up with the orders. And Genius pipes up, demanding better food. Even it can see he is pushing himself too hard. He just splashes some water on his face, trying to shake off the exhaustion. Then he is back to his usual self, chalking it all up to the power of youth, much to Genius's confusion. While his energy control is improving, he still needs that high-grade meat and decides to hit up Sister Zin, who immediately sends over her private supply chain info, leaving Lin Yuan stunned by her kindness. Putting on a jacket, he heads out late at night for a little restocking trip, and Genius insists on tagging along, rocking a new bow tie and claiming it is the latest trend. Sure it is, buddy. This two of them head out into the quiet city streets, only to be immediately startled by some unexpected company. A bunch of shady-looking dudes surround him, offering a lift. Their meeting spot is a dimly lit port, which is not screaming above board business. But Lin Yuan puts on his best innocent face, saying he is just here to buy some meat. These guys deny everything right before one of them accidentally blurts out their entire black market price list, and his buddies immediately start freaking out on him for spilling the secret. Great start to a covert operation. Lin Yuan plays the innocent customer, name-dropping Sister Zin, but the three buff goons are not buying it, demanding he pass their test. They threaten him with some angry-looking dogs, so Lin Yuan just roasts them for their size, and the goons are immediately shut down with a big fat no. As they try to grab him, Lin Yuan dodges easily, completely unimpressed by their stubbornness. Right before their boss shows up, absolutely furious they are causing a scene. After a quick apology, the boss claims he is all out of the good stuff. Revealing his crew accidentally bought toxic dimensional creature meat instead, top-tier employees right there. He goes on a legendary tirade about how it is literal poison. So naturally, Lin Yuan asks if he can buy some of that poison meat. This boss agrees, and suddenly the goons are his best friends, offering him a loyalty card. Genius is skeptical, but Lin Yuan figures Redthorn can handle it since it is from a rift anyway. Now in a full hazmat suit, he has got buckets of the purple goo ready for feeding time. Though he is still having second thoughts about the whole feeding his pet acid plan, before he can even test it, Redthorn just snatches the bucket and chugs the whole thing, which immediately backfires as the poor plant starts melting from the corrosion. Lin Yuan freaks out, realizing his healing Fey might not even work on this thing, but then he spots something totally unexpected happening. Instead of dying, Redthorn is regenerating and adapting to the poison, its vines twisting into a new form, and Genius explains it is forging a new evolution path, prompting Lin Yuan to cheer it on. Redthorn's evolution goes wild, sprouting thorny, demonic-looking vines, and then it just stops, leaving Lin Yuan completely baffled. He realizes it is gone dormant to auto-evolve, but its current form is still too weak. Suddenly, Chimey flies in with its new autograph, which Lin Yuan reads as total gibberish. This little bird is already planning its merch line, and Lin Yuan is just dead inside. Turns out Chimey has a hardcore fan who tried to send it a ton of money. Who knew? It insists he take some autographs to Redbud City because they will be priceless someday, obviously. Getting ready to leave, Lin Yuan says he has been preparing for this trip for ages. Pointing to the creator exam registration, which is finally open. With his goal set, our boy heads out to take the test. His destination is the massive Redbud City Creators Guild, where a huge line of hopefuls is already waiting to register. Inside, the registration desk is swamped with nervous candidates, and a staffer wishes her grandpa, the guild VP, would show up for moral support. Said grandpa, Elder Ning, is busy serving tea in his office to some important guests, who turn out to be high-ranking elders from the royal capital, here to adjust the exam. Elder Ning calmly asks why they are meddling with his city's test, and Elder Du explains it is all part of a new reform, plus the Moon Empress is looking for a disciple. His colleague, Elder Meng, calls him out, saying she just wants talent, not necessarily an apprentice. But Elder Du gets real shady, questioning why only Redbud City gets this special focus when talent is everywhere, especially in the rich families. Elder Ning sips his tea, deciding he will just have to play along with these political games. Meanwhile, Lin Yuan is airborne, with Genius complaining about the bumpy ride. Once they land, Genius is already asking to see Chimey, but our boy is all business. He promises they will ace the exam, getting an adorable purr of confidence from his pet. While walking through the city, Genius gets distracted by food, but Lin Yuan is laser-focused on the test. They pass a bunch of people who look like they have seen a ghost. Turns out it is just exam jitters, and for good reason, because if you fail, you are banned from retaking for a whole year. Arriving at the administrative hall, he notes everyone is dressed way fancier than him. This line to get in is insane, so he tells Genius it is time to transform. He explains that using Faye as support is totally legal, which is why Genius is his personal supercomputer. With a flash, Genius becomes a pair of slick green tech glasses ready for analysis. Inside, the first thing they see is a girl sobbing after failing, not exactly encouraging. This staffer calls for the next group, asking everyone to present their 3 basic certificates, which is a problem because Lin Yuan casually admits he does not have any. He asks to take the on-site exams instead, and the staffer agrees, looking very concerned for him. She warns him they only offer the 3 absolute hardest tests, so of course he picks all 3. Completely floored by his confidence, she just leads the way, hoping he does not regret this. They head off toward the main building for the special exam. Back with the capital elders, they are smugly noting the crowd their visit has attracted. And Elder Du reveals the trap. Elder Ning loves personally crushing hopefuls on those exact 3 exams every year. Elder Du smirks, wondering how hard a simple level-up test could possibly be. But his colleague clarifies the real problem is Elder Ning's perfectionist attitude. This staffer tries to warn Lin Yuan about the guild's insane difficulty, but he is unfazed. Just then, her grandpa, the guild VP, shows up, asking who is scaring off his candidates. He then insists she call him grandpa at work, which is totally not weird at all. This old man defends it as family bonding, definitely not a massive conflict of interest. Turning to Lin Yuan, he questions his confidence only to get an even bolder response. So he kicks things off with a trick question, Megalodon versus Leviathan, who wins? His granddaughter internally freaks out. It is an ancient, unanswerable debate he loves to use. She tries to give Lin Yuan a hint, basically telling him to just suck up and say Megalodon, but our boy drops a bombshell instead, declaring they were both weak. Elder Ning is taken aback, demanding an explanation for this wild claim. Lin Yuan explains they both failed to evolve and simply went extinct. End of story. He even adds that forcing a Fae to revert to an ancestral form is a flawed concept. This granddaughter is just shocked her grandpa has not had a full-blown aneurysm yet. Instead, Elder Ning is baiting him, telling him to elaborate on this spicy take. So Lin Yuan goes full galaxy brain, explaining their dominance actually stalled the entire ecosystem, and when a meteor hit they could not adapt, making them true evolutionary failures. Elder Ning is genuinely impressed, clapping and declaring he has passed this part. In fact, he is so interested he decides to personally proctor the rest of the exams himself. As Elder Ning personally escorts him, the crowd goes wild with speculation. But the old man just yells at them to get back to studying, and they do instantly. With the exam underway, Lin Yuan gets down to business. Genius glasses activated. He is flying through the questions, with Genius feeding him answers from the most obscure sources. Elder Ning sips his drink, impressed, guessing the kid will take a solid 2 hours. Yeah, try 1 hour, our boy is already done and turning in his papers. He then casually asks if he can just take the creator exam right now, which gets him a hard no from the suddenly furious old man. Lin Yuan is just standing there, completely lost by the sudden mood swing. He asks if he failed, but Elder Ning says that is not the problem at all. Turns out he did too well, breaking every record and forcing a mandatory delay. Whoops. Our boy just sighs, saying he wanted to ace the next test in under 2 hours too. With his schedule now wide open, Genius suggests they go visit Chimey. But Elder Ning has a better idea, inviting him to see something fascinating instead. He swipes a keycard, leading them into a high-security area. Lin Yuan questions if they should be here, but the old man just says he runs the place. They arrive at a massive pool of shimmering liquid that radiates immense pressure. Elder Ning tells him to pay close attention, preparing to show off a little. A huge wave of aura explodes from him, revealing he is a king-class powerhouse. And from the pool emerges a terrifying Fae, leaving Lin Yuan completely stunned. Elder Ning proudly unveils his prized creation, a massive spiral-toothed sheer-jaw shark, and Lin Yuan is understandably intimidated by its grind-all-life-to-dust teeth. But with his genius glasses activated, he gets a full data scan on the Fae, immediately identifying its platinum rank and legend quality, which just earns him another pop quiz. Our boy pauses for a dramatic second on the floor, before correctly deducing the old man's grand plan is to evolve it into a megalodon. Totally impressed, Elder Ning sends him on a little fetch quest across the room, where Lin Yuan finds a case full of vials containing pure dragon beast blood. He is floored, it is platinum grade, way more potent than the gold grade stuff he has. And just as he is hoping for a freebie, Elder Ning calls it a mentorship gift. This old man then grabs a whole handful of the priceless vials, and just casually yeets them into the pool as a snack for his shark, a true power move. He explains this is how you make a real megalodon, and Lin Yuan realizes this guy is a fanatic. After the insane flex, Elder Ning drops some creator wisdom about evolution following natural paths, then dismisses him, telling him not to be late for the main event tomorrow. His granddaughter immediately asks for the results, but he is already back to playing 4D chess against the capital elders. Internally, though, he has decided Lin Yuan is a top-tier talent who deserves a real chance. So our boy walks off into the sunset with his entire future riding on the next day's exam. With some unexpected free time, he decides to check in on his friend Zaya OCI. And right on cue, she calls him in a panic, saying she got hurt during training at school. This second he hears she is hurt, his entire demeanor changes. All other plans are out the window as he bolts through the city for Zaya OCI. His mind races, trying to figure out how she got hit when direct attacks are forbidden at her school. He bursts into the infirmary to find her, perfectly fine and waving at him. This panic immediately shifts to overprotective chibai mode fussing, with Genius prescribing pork for recovery. Her life-threatening injury turns out to be a paper-cut-level scratch on her wrist. Lin Yuan is radiating pure, unadulterated "you called me for this" energy. Even Genius is judging her, pointing out the scratch would have healed itself in an hour. Then some guy dressed like a smooth criminal shows up, who apparently got her a doctor. Turns out Mr. White's suit is here to find the creator behind her Fae, wanting to see what he is made of. And just like that, Lin Yuan realizes his secret creator identity might be totally blown. This man gets way too close, asking if it took months to raise the Fae, putting our boy on the spot. Genius, with absolutely no concept of subtlety, just announces it took about 7 hours. This answer completely shatters the guy's composure, who just mutters that he lost whatever bet he made. He admits that for him, a similar feat would take 2 years, not the flex he was hoping for. Meanwhile, at the City Lord's administration building, a letter from Elder Ning has arrived. This City Lord is informed that Elders Meng and Du have left, which she already knew was part of the plan. She then gives a massive order to double the guards at every dimensional rift and mobilize the reserves. One of her advisors protests, saying their focus should be on the Radiance 100 selection. This City Lord looks overwhelmed, learning only 5 of their 20-seated candidates are confirmed, with many more to vet. Back at the City Lord's office, an advisor reviews a file on Zio CI and her Rhino Fae. This City Lord herself orders him to mark the first-year student as a seed candidate immediately. She is completely out of patience, explaining their city is falling behind and they need a win now. Her advisor just bows, realizing the immense pressure she is under. He then laments a past failure, a bright star who dropped out and cost them dearly. Meanwhile, Mr. White Suit is still at the school, now with Zio Ci and her brother, claiming he is looking for someone. He says he is trying to recruit an old friend for a cushy teaching job, a likely story. Zio Ci and her brother are totally judging him, sensing he is looking down on everyone. Then he adds he is also looking for a second person, another old friend, who turns out to be a web singer. He is a massive fanboy for completely breaking character. Her brother deadpans that the singer is not at their school, and Mr. White Suit decides to leave. They exchange some overly dramatic goodbyes about fate and destiny, but once he is alone, he is already analyzing Lin Yuan as a potential threat to someone named Long Tao. On the phone, he reports he still cannot find a guy named Liu Jai in the city. With him gone, Zio Ci immediately starts asking her brother when she is getting a sister-in-law. She clutches an autograph he got her before asking why he is really in town. He just grins, reminding her he is here for the creator exam, which shocks her. Since he is here, he suggests they grab some food and catch up properly. Over a huge meal, he asks how her rhino horn Iron Bull is doing. She pouts, complaining that her classmates have started calling her Iron Bull Girl. Lin Yuan gets all huffy about her new nickname, with Genius agreeing it is just plain rude. She's just happy to be eating well, but he reminds her to actually spend the allowance he sends. He then wires her more cash and a silver tier radish to buff her Iron Bull, which has her absolutely floored, asking if they are suddenly rich or something. With the mood set, he takes her hand, saying he has a place he wants to visit, and they arrive at the legendary Rarities Pavilion. A place she says was always way too expensive to even look at before now. He promises they might even find her a second Fae inside, looking super confident, though he admits they're stuck on the first floor until he passes his exam tomorrow. She immediately spots a cute two-tailed snow ferret, but he is quick to shut it down as not her style. Genius, meanwhile, gets super jealous, claiming he is cuter because he has more tails, obviously. When she asks for the price, Lin Yuan checks the tag and sees it is a whopping 1,100 coins, which sends him into a full-on dramatic breakdown about being a poor, late-blooming brother. But his pity party is cut short when he spots a mysterious cloaked person in the corner, who seems to be guarding a set of blue flash butterfly cocoons. Lin Yuan immediately recognizes their potential to evolve into the stunning blue light goddess butterfly, though he clarifies to a hyped-up Genius that the evolution process is way more complicated than it looks. Zio Ci gets starry-eyed, revealing she does not want the butterfly itself but its powerful silent scale dust, a high-grade mystic skill that can completely shut down an enemy Fae's abilities. He is left wondering who this cloaked stranger is, since finding 4 of these near-extinct cocoons is basically impossible. Some rich lady and her daughter immediately start judging the cloaked seller's drip, but Lin Yuan is just over it, wondering why these peacocks are even here. Ignoring them, the seller names his price, 120 coins for all 4 cocoons, and our boy knows that is a steal, pissed that someone else is about to snag them. It is a total blind box though, the cocoons could be duds, making the price a huge gamble. This rich lady loudly calls it a scam, saying they are just worthless butterfly cocoons. A mob quickly forms, calling the seller a fraud and wanting to call security on him. Zio Ci gets worried, asking Lin Yuan what is happening. Just as the lady smirks, Lin Yuan swoops in, announcing he will buy all 4 gacha. She tries to warn him they're fake, but he just shuts her down with store policy. He then turns to the seller, genuinely offering to make the deal right now. For a tense moment, the cloaked person just stands there in silence, and Lin Yuan waits, holding his ground. This seller then just turns and walks off, with the crowd mocking Lin Yuan for getting played. But he stops, telling Lin Yuan to come back tomorrow if he is serious about the deal. Zio Ci is confused, but her brother just brushes it off and leads her away. She tells him to focus on his exam, and he promises he's got it all under control. Meanwhile, the rich lady is fuming that Lin Yuan ruined her plan to lowball the seller. This next day arrives, bringing them right back to the Creator Guild. Our boy is completely wiped, admitting he was up all night thinking about those cocoons. And who is here but the rich lady from the shop, sneering that only elites can pass this year's exam. Some other candidate is all smiles, totally confident her rare materials will clinch the win. Her test subject is a grumpy little Fae with a metal helmet, looking thrilled to be the lucky one. This proctor announces everyone gets a private room, which is perfect for Lin Yuan's whole secret genius vibe. And that same official watches Lin Yuan go in, really hoping the kid does not make his recommendation letter look stupid. This city lord herself shows up, and the proctor says she's just in time to not terrify the candidates. She asks what impossible task he has set, and he just grins, revealing the test subject is an ironhead weasel. Her face just drops. That Fae is notoriously stubborn and shy, basically the worst possible exam subject. He gets this totally evil aura, claiming he just cares so much asterisk about the youth, a complete troll move. Meanwhile, that confident girl is having a total meltdown. The weasel will not eat anything she offers. Another guy tries the brute force approach, which is going about as well as you'd expect. Then there is this guy, gloating that he pulled an all-nighter studying difficult phase just for this moment. Lin Yuan, however, just activates his calm-down magic, noting this one is surprisingly docile for its species. Back in the observation room, Elder Ning's granddaughter asks if the weasel is really that big of a deal. This proctor explains the whole test hinges on knowing its specific diet. If you do not have the right bait, you fail. And Mr. All-Nighter is now having his own tantrum since none of the textbook solutions are working. Lin Yuan's weasel, however, is happily munching away, with Genius providing the secret recipe. Half an hour later, the proctor is still confident, but the city lord is getting antsy about the city's schedule. Suddenly, a door slides open, bathing the hallway in light, and the city lord turns, a look of genuine surprise on her face. This proctor sees him and immediately assumes he failed, asking why he is out so early. Lin Yuan just flashes a huge grin and a thumbs up, announcing the exam is totally complete. Before the city lord can even process this, he asks to take the 2-star exam right now. She is still stunned he tamed the weasel in under an hour, while the proctor smugly praises his own eye for talent. Her mind races, connecting his other outstanding scores to this incredible creator talent. She formally tells him he has passed and is now officially qualified as a creator. Then she asks him to confirm, is he absolutely certain about taking the next level exam immediately? Our boy is sweating bullets, thinking she is terrifying as the proctor tells him to just answer honestly. He suddenly remembers she is a legendary hero, realizing she takes this stuff very seriously. With his confidence restored, he assures the city lord he is ready for the 2-star test, no problem. She just gives a nod, telling her bald subordinate to prepare the room for him. As they walk, the proctor explains that the 1-star exam is basically just an entry-level formality. His granddaughter chimes in that some people just buy their way through it before he tells her to call him grandpa. This city lord clarifies that the 2-star exam is different, testing for quality and essence. This year's test is to evolve a common fae to epic quality and heal it, all in 4 hours. She is unimpressed, saying that is the same as always, so what is the catch? With a wicked little smile, the proctor reveals the fae's very essence is damaged. Everyone just stands there in dead silence, processing how utterly impossible that sounds. This city lord completely snaps, grabbing the old man and yelling he might as well ask for a resurrection. But he calmly explains that the stricter the test, the better they will look to the Moon Empress. This granddaughter explains that essence damage is so bad, the fae could just die mid-treatment. Back in the exam room, Lin Yuan is all smiles, totally ready with his jasmine lily. His test subject is a sad little shearclaw crab which does not look promising at all. Admitting he is new to this, he starts searching for the source of the injury. Just a light touch on its shell makes the poor thing tremble in agony, and Genius's scan reveals the inside is completely shattered, way worse than it looks. His healing is way too slow, and at this rate, he will run out of time before he even gets to the evolution part. So he decides to use a special combo to boost his recovery speed. This little crab immediately starts sparkling, looking much better already. Our boy is pleased, seeing the effects are immediate. But then its life signs suddenly plummet and Genius warns him it is about to die. He gets a sudden flash of inspiration, pulling out some rare Elysian soil to buy the crab some time. He finally figures it out. The shell is healing so fast it is crushing its internal organs. With a new plan, he focuses on healing the organs first, putting the fae's life over the exam clock. Outside, other candidates are already gossiping that he is a fool for even trying this. This city lord is getting super antsy, with the proctor just smugly watching the time tick down. He claims a real talent could have done this in 2 hours just to be a troll. She just gives him a death glare, asking what happens if Lin Yuan is not that talented. Then he is not good enough, the old man says, all for the sake of the Moon Empress, and she is not amused. This city lord's bald subordinate announces the 4 hours are officially up. With a heavy sigh, the proctor prepares to deliver the bad news, but the door slides open and Lin Yuan announces he is finished, casually asking if he happened to run out the clock. What a troll. Inside, the old man sees the crab molting, a clever trick to save its organs, and his granddaughter confirms the jasmine lily also hit epic quality. This city lord is impressed, though Lin Yuan credits his rare soil for the speed boost. Then the proctor reveals the crab gave him its precious crabstone as thanks, a gift it would normally die to protect, showing its genuine gratitude. He is then officially awarded his 2-star creator medal, which has the city lord raising a glass to her city's new rising star. And Lin Yuan is just wondering where she got wine in a government building and why she is already tipsy. She drunkenly hands over his new 2-star ID card, followed by the keys to a whole house which is apparently just a standard perk, before mentioning retainers and playfully slapping the proctor for not qualifying. This old man quickly has her escorted away to rest, handing Lin Yuan 2 official retainer badges, explaining they are for hiring personal bodyguards, a tradition from the old days. And Lin Yuan realizes that mysterious expert from the shop was just someone's retainer. Now on the phone, he is already heading back to the Rarities Pavilion, mission in mind. Lin Yuan arrives solo, saying his sister has her own important training to focus on. An attendant immediately offers him a personal guide, but he says he has got an appointment. Inside, he finds that rich family from yesterday harassing the cloaked seller. This husband puffs out his chest, saying as a 1-star creator, he is doing the guy a favor. His goon grabs the seller, telling him to wait 2 hours for his master to be ready. This retainer then threatens to beat him up for making them wait, total power trip. But a hand suddenly clamps down on the goon's wrist, stopping him cold. Lin Yuan calmly announces the seller is actually waiting for him, not them. This retainer's face just breaks when he sees the 2-star creator badge. Everyone gawks at how young he is, and our boy is just eating it up. That arrogant husband immediately starts bowing, apologizing for his poor eyesight. His daughter then tries to ask for her failed exam consolation prize, and her dad just drags her away, saying no gift if you do not pass, brutal. This seller then turns to Lin Yuan, offering to prove the cocoons are real. He just tells the staff to get them a private room ready to see the truth. In the VIP room, even the decorative plants are high tier, which is just a flex. This seller then reveals his own fae, a massive, powerful source creature. Genius explains it is a broodmother, a living factory that creates other faes, but its essence is shattered and it is dying, which explains the seller's desperation. He tells Lin Yuan to touch the cocoons to see a vision of where they were found. Lin Yuan touches the cocoon, immediately identifying its psychic properties. This vision shows the seller casually navigating a deadly forest. Okay, so he is a big deal. Suddenly, the broodmother's agony floods his mind, a psychic scream at its absolute limit, and the seller is on the floor, sharing every bit of that pain, totally helpless. Deciding to just go for it, Lin Yuan plans to calm the creature down first and see what happens. His aura works, stabilizing the fae, and the seller is just floored that this kid can actually help. In a flashback, he remembers being told only a pure, attribute-less aura could ever heal its damaged essence, which basically meant begging one of the world's top masters for a miracle he could not afford. Then it hits him, this kid might actually have that impossible, pure energy. With the broodmother finally calm, the seller gets up, ready to make a serious proposal. He unmasks, revealing he is Liu Jai, a B-rank combat pro, not what Lin Yuan was expecting. This guy was apparently a huge shot, one of the top 100, known as the Heart of the Swarm. Then he just drops to one knee, offering to become Lin Yuan's personal retainer. He even swears a whole oath, calling on heaven and earth to smite him if he fails. Talk about dramatic. Before Lin Yuan can even process this, Liu Jai starts casting a binding rune oath. This magic shoots out, sealing the deal before our boy can even say no. Liu Jai just smirks, saying it is too late, the bond is already locked in. Lin Yuan is freaking out, realizing this oath is the real deal. If broken, Liu Jai loses everything. This guy explains he needs his broodmother healed and has nothing else to offer as payment. But Liu Jai refuses any charity, his fierce pride demanding an equal exchange, leaving Lin Yuan baffled. Lin Yuan asks if it is really worth it to bet his whole future on a total stranger. But Liu Jai remembers being told that even the top experts could not help him, and that finding a pure aura to heal his broodmother was basically a fairy tale, with one master even telling him to just give up on the fae entirely. With absolute conviction, Liu Jai just says, "It is worth it." He then grabs our boy's hands, swearing to be his sword and shield, and Lin Yuan is just a flustered mess. Meanwhile, the staff are already gossiping, pegging Lin Yuan as a new money creator and Liu Jai as a charity case. One even speculates he is the last heir of a fallen family, kept around out of pity. Brutal. Now masked again, Liu Jai leads him out, calling him young master, to Lin Yuan's total awkwardness. Lin Yuan jokes he would have helped anyway, but his new retainer is not amused. As they walk, he begs Liu Jai to stop calling him young master, who immediately agrees. Of course, young master. Then Liu Jai hits him with the bill for the cocoons because business is business, even for retainers. Genius the cat tells him to get over the money and go share the good news already. So Lin Yuan bursts back into his shop, announcing his triumphant return, only for his little bird Faye to fly at him in a total panic, screaming for help. It tells him Red Thorn is in the backyard and he needs to go look now. And he finds his little plant has turned into a massive, terrifying monster with way too many teeth. A giant red tendril whips right at his face as Genius yells a warning. But Lin Yuan just casually pats it, saying Red Thorn is just being clingy. Sure, buddy. Now he is standing on its head as it wraps around him, and Genius points out it really looks like it is trying to eat him. This little bird Faye mentions a delivery, but Lin Yuan is sure he did not order anything. Turns out it is a promotion gift from Sister Xin, 3 nearly dead Fays. How thoughtful. His new 2-star status is now officially linked to his online shop, which is super convenient. First up is a Bladehorn Swift Antelope, basically on its deathbed and sold for a discount. With its organs all scrambled, he uses that rare Elysian soil just to keep it breathing. His little bird, Sound, eagerly tells him to check out the other mystery boxes. And inside the next one is a piece of firewood apparently. This note calls it a damaged gold tier plant, and Genius confirms it is basically charcoal. But Genius corrects them, it is an osmanthus tree and there is still a tiny spark of life inside. Lin Yuan's face goes full-on cartoon shock as he takes a closer look. A quick scan reveals it is a ridiculously rare cinnabar scarlet osmanthus with perfect skills, and he is practically drooling, knowing it is a legendary anti-curse plant. This last box is a total freebie because the sellers could not even figure out what it was. As he peeks inside, his eyes light up with recognition, revealing another super rare material just one step away from platinum tier. Elsewhere, the woman who sent the gifts is told she is just shipping leftovers, but she has a plan. She gets a notification on her phone, smiling because her target has arrived. Now face to face, she offers Lin Yuan some fancy tea and asks if he liked his near-dead presents. Our boy just cuts right to the chase, asking what she really wants from him, and she finally admits it. She wants a direct supply line for his rare phase. Lin Yuan casually agrees to her business proposal, leaving her totally stunned. He then lays out his monthly supply limits, framing it as a favor so she will not suffer a loss. What a guy. Sister Xin is ecstatic, offering to pay a premium since this deal could finally upgrade her shop's rating. Our boy then sweetens the pot for next month, already thinking about feeding his own power-hungry Fae. She just absolutely loses her mind at the sheer volume of rare goods he is promising. Her assistant literally has to catch her as she realizes the creator backing him must be a 4-star legend. 3 days later, Lin Yuan is wiped out after setting up a massive spirit stone array for his Fae, Mobius. This near-dead swift antelope is finally stabilized, happily munching on some greens thanks to his hard work. He channels his pure aura into it, focusing on healing its core foundation from the inside out. With all the prep work done, he gets a glint in his eye, ready for the main event. This Fae evolves into a gold-tier Windrush swift antelope, its powerful new stats and skills popping up. He is impressed she found the rare materials for this evolution, turning it into a brutal area of effect attacker. That evolution's energy feedback pushes him straight to C rank, a huge leap in personal power. He rewards the newly evolved Fae with a special plant, telling it to take a well-deserved rest. With one success down, he is confident he can heal the legendary Osmanthus tree next. But a sudden sweat drop reveals there is one tiny complication in his new domestic life. That complication is Liu Jai, who is grooming a Fae with the intensity of a 5-star butler. This is way too much. His new retainer greets him as young master, and Lin Yuan just dies a little inside from the cringe. Liu Jai then formally compliments Genius on its training while it is in the litter box, leaving the cat utterly speechless. Then he points out that the little plant Fae Redthorn is being unruly, and it looks ready to commit several felonies. Liu Jai whips out a business chart telling his new master to scale up the operation. His new retainer stands firm on his principles, which apparently include corporate strategy. Lin Yuan just tells him to summon the broodmother so he can finally get to work. He then pokes the bear, asking if Liu Jai is salty about getting kicked from the pro rankings. And yeah, the guy's face says it all, he is very salty. So our boy gives him a pep talk, basically saying get good again, so supportive. With that settled, he places a hand on the Fae's essence to begin the healing. Pure energy floods the broodmother's shattered core, mending the cracks. Lin Yuan gives his prognosis, 2 or 3 months and it'll be good as new. Overcome with emotion, Liu Jai starts swearing another life or death oath, but Lin Yuan cuts him off, changing the subject to his new expansion plans for the royal capital. He is all hyped for the big city until Liu Jai asks about housing prices, gotta be practical. Turns out he won a shop in the capital and sends his new butler to go scout it out. With his new mission assigned, Liu Jai heads out immediately. His little Faes are excited about the move, ready for a bigger world. Just then, Lin Yuan gets a call from an unknown number, hoping for a big sale. Instead, a woman named Ling Xiao tells him to pack for a long trip, someone's coming to get him. That same woman hangs up, surprised the legendary Moon Empress is sending someone personally. An older man reveals it was his idea to change the exam, forcing the Empress's hand. And Ling Xiao declares she will be the one to escort Lin Yuan up Moonveil Mountain herself. Meanwhile, at the Royal Capital Creator Guild, some new hotshot is getting a fancy title. This is Cheng Rui, who is already convinced his new rank makes him a shoo-in for the Moon Empress's disciple. He is scheming with an elder, confident they cannot refuse a titled prodigy this time around. And here he is, Cheng Rui, 2-star creator and owner of a very punchable face. Back at home, Lin Yuan's Faes are throwing a full-blown protest about being left behind. They pull out the ultimate weapon, the coordinated puppy dog eyes attack. It is super effective, and Lin Yuan caves immediately, figuring it is safer than leaving them to cause chaos. Inside his spirit space, the Faes are loving the upgrade, especially Genius, who has found a new favorite tree. This cat's also checking out the broodmother and a cocoon that is about to hatch. Lin Yuan's already got a name picked out for the new butterfly, much to Sound's confusion. He explains it is all part of a master plan to build an impenetrable defense system for his little bird. Just then his ride arrives, an attendant who calls him Lord, which totally short-circuits his brain. Realizing this is a big deal, our boy immediately starts primping because first impressions matter. He arrives to find not just a car, but a whole entourage waiting for him. This lead escort, a guy in shades, summons a massive winged Fae, telling him it is time to go. Lin Yuan asks if they should say hi to the governor, out of basic courtesy. But the escort just dismisses it, saying Lin Yuan's rank is way higher and our boy is just baffled by the power trip. With that, they are off, soaring through the sky on their VIP transport. Their destination is the royal capital, the biggest city in the whole Federation. And waiting there is the legendary Moon Empress herself, looking serene by a lotus pond. An envoy named Kang Yu congratulates the Moon Empress on her fancy lotus leveling up. This Empress notes its new skill is for fighting, not healing, but she will take it. She is then told the new exam system has already coughed up a prime candidate. Another envoy confirms the kid aced a brutally difficult custom-made test. This gets her attention. Perfect scores at only 18 is some next-level genius. This envoys are already gushing, saying they are bringing him over immediately. Best of all, he's got a clean background, no messy family drama to deal with. But then they drop the other shoe. The Creator Guild is pushing their own guy for the spot. This Empress is immediately suspicious, hearing this rival already has a fancy title. Turns out it is Cheng Rui, that 2-star prodigy, with a title basically gifted to him by the guild's VPS. His title is absurdly grand, and the envoys are not exactly impressed by the hype. This Empress sees right through it, but admits the guild is clearly putting a lot of weight behind him. Kang Yu is just annoyed, calling it another attempt to dazzle her with flashy credentials. Deciding to be polite, the Empress agrees to see him, might as well get it over with. And just to make it a party, there is a third candidate from the university, ranked in the top 100. She just says to bring them all, wanting to gauge the new generation's power level. When asked if she has already picked a favorite, she plays coy, saying she has to test them first. Her envoys totally do not buy it, but she tells them to hold off on exam prep for now. because first she is going gift shopping for her new disciple. Yeah, she is already decided. Meanwhile, back in Redbud City, a mysterious guy arrives to meet Lin Yuan, sensing this is a major event. This woman from the phone, Ling Xiao, informs Lin Yuan they are heading to the royal capital immediately. With a sharp clap of her hands, she signals it is time to get him ready. And suddenly our boy is getting measured for a suit, completely baffled by this whole situation. His brain finally connects the dots. The royal capital must mean one of the top 3 legends. Then Ling Xiao just casually drops that the 5-star Moon Empress wants to see him, sending him into a full-blown meltdown. She just gives him a smug little more or less, refusing to spill any more top-secret details. Internally, Lin Yuan is absolutely fanboying over meeting his idol while she thinks about his big chance. Meanwhile, at the Royal Capital Academy, another candidate is getting prepped for the same meeting. His mentor warns him not to overtrain before seeing the Empress. But this guy, radiating pure try-hard energy, claims he is in peak condition. We will see about that. Back with Lin Yuan, he is already complaining about his fancy new clothes, because apparently a feast and a custom-tailored suit is just too much for our humble hero. Ling Xiao is not having it, telling him to look presentable for the most powerful woman in the Federation. With the makeover complete, she announces it is finally time to head out. Summoning a majestic Azure Jade Pegasus as their personal transport, which completely short-circuits Lin Yuan's brain seeing a fantasy-grade mount up close. He asks if they are really taking a horse, and she explains it is the fastest and safest way to travel long distance. As they take off, we learn she is a city lord, getting a formal send-off from her subordinates. Soaring through the clouds, Lin Yuan is amazed by the ride, asking how long the trip will take. And she clarifies it is just over a day's flight, a short hop compared to crossing the entire Federation. Lin Yuan is having a hard time wrapping his head around just how far away the capital is. He then asks the very logical question of why they are not just flying straight over the ocean. Ling Xiao immediately shuts him down, saying that is the #1 rule you learn about flying phase. And for a live demonstration, she steers their Pegasus right over the coastline. Suddenly, the water below them just absolutely erupts, revealing a pod of colossal black whales, basically a moving wall of certain death. She explains the ocean is a total no-fly zone since one stray water jet means you're just gone. Our boy, ever the innovator, asks about just flying way out into the deep sea to get around it. But she tells him that is an even dumber idea because that is where the mythic grade phase live. His imagination immediately conjures a deep-sea leviathan and he is officially terrified. She then drops a massive lore bomb. Mythic grade phase are basically living gods that fuse with the world itself. And Lin Yuan's whole worldview shatters, realizing fantasy grade is not the final boss after all. Now he understands why even the strongest phase give the deep ocean a wide berth. Impressed by his quick thinking, Ling Xiao hints that becoming the Empress's disciple puts him on that same mythic path, because the Moon Empress herself is a living legend of that caliber. After swearing him to secrecy, she quizzes him on fantasy-grade tiers and he wisely asks for a lesson, which leads to a Chibai lecture on the 5 molts, and their ride is only level 1, what a flex. As they fly on, she reminds him that even as a creator, he needs to be able to fight, giving him some pro tips on strengthening his foundation, and he is all confidence, saying he can do it. Ling Xiao just gives a knowing look, clarifying it is all about perception and there are no shortcuts for that. Lin Yuan casually manifests a wool rune and Ling Xiao's brain just completely short-circuits. She is internally freaking out, realizing this kid is a monster genius who also makes everyone want to punch him. And little does she know, he has got more than one, which would earn him a one-way trip off this Pegasus. She explains that a will rune is a huge step toward reaching the 3rd fantasy-grade molt, then gives him the pro strat, evolve a Fae from gold tier to legend quality or get hard stuck forever. So our boy immediately asks about starting from bronze tier, a plan so insane she cannot even process it. It is a reminder that even the top dogs in the Federation struggle to get a single will rune, making Lin Yuan realize his own method is basically a cheat code for the entire power system. As they finally approach the city, Ling Xiao announces their long-haul flight is almost over, and Lin Yuan is just soaking it in, ready to make his grand entrance into the royal capital. Their destination is the glorious Moon Hall, which is every bit as ridiculously fancy as it sounds. But look who is already here, Long Tao, ranked 3rd in the whole Federation, trying to look cool. His companion wonders why a top ranker is even here instead of out on some high-stakes mission. Then a 3rd guy with purple hair shows up, immediately sizing up Long Tao as his rival for the disciple's spot. Long Tao is not having any of the fake pleasantries, telling him to cut the crap. This purple-haired dude starts whining to an elder about not getting a fancy title like Cheng Rui did. An elder dude just shuts him down, saying Cheng Rui actually has the skills to back up his title. But then Long Tao drops a bomb. He just passed his 3-star creator exam and asks if that is good enough for a title, which sends the purple-haired rival into a full-on jealous rage. And another elder has to step in, reminding Long Tao to be respectful even if his grandpa is the guild's vice president. Long Tao is just radiating smug energy, claiming he will earn his own title at 4 stars, not accept a handout. His purple-haired rival is absolutely fuming, vowing to crush anyone who stands between him and the Empress. Meanwhile, one of the elders admits the Creator Guild totally overplayed its hand backing the wrong guy. Another elder then reveals Long Tao is a 3-star creator from their own branch, which is brand new information. This other guy just scoffs, calling him out for trying to claim a top talent on a technicality. While the old men bicker, Purple Hair tries to mock them, but Long Tao's comeback is just colder. Then Long Tao pulls out his phone to roast the guy with a picture of his own cringy interview, a truly savage move. Purple Hair is completely triggered, telling him he has gone too far. He grabs Long Tao, whining about their age difference, and just gets called a pathetic hypocrite for it. Long Tao then asks if he is about to launch into a classic underdog hero revenge monologue, which is just brutal, and the rival is left absolutely speechless, completely and utterly owned. Suddenly, a mysterious voice cuts through the drama, announcing she is here on the Moon Empress's orders. A woman appears out of thin air, a king-class professional whose presence is everywhere at once. This envoy, Xunyu, tells them they are just waiting on one last guest before things can begin. She greets Long Tao with a friendly but very knowing smile, then drops some cryptic advice about patience, looking like she knows all his secrets. Long Tao is visibly thrown, realizing there is way more to this envoy than meets the eye. With perfect timing, she looks to the sky and announces their final guest has arrived. And down come Ling Xiao and Lin Yuan, apologizing for the delay from Redbud City. His rivals immediately write him off as cannon fodder, completely unaware they are looking at the main character. Lin Yuan is having a full-on tourist moment, his eyes sparkling at all the high-level phase. This purple-haired rival immediately sneers, calling him a country bumpkin who barely passed his exam. Long Tao just twists the knife, pointing out the bumpkin is younger than him, which only makes Purple Hair saltier. Their escort Xunyu announces her job is done, handing them off to another envoy named Kangyu. Using his special sight, Lin Yuan realizes the decorative trees are absurdly high-level, basically priceless artifacts. Kangyu is impressed by his sharp eye, offering him some honey from the trees later. He then confirms the trees are indeed legend quality, a casual flex of the Empress's insane wealth. Xunyu playfully calls him out for giving away her hard work, keeping the mood light for a moment. But then she gets down to business, telling the three candidates she's got places to be and it is time to start. This test is simple, follow her in, and the first to grab the treasure on the platform wins the spot, or so they think. With that, the two rivals are off like a shot, a blur of motion as they race for the prize. Ling Xiao watches from the side, recognizing this as a classic ploy to make them turn on each other. Except Lin Yuan is already on the platform, looking back at them like they are moving in slow motion. Long Tao reaches a golden box, completely stunned by Lin Yuan's speed but still focused on the goal. His purple-haired rival is right there with him, absolutely seething and ready to throw down over it. This two of them are scrambling over these shiny decoy boxes, completely missing the point of the test. As Long Tao grabs one, the other guy lunges for it, screaming that the prize is his. Long Tao just shuts him down with a cold in your dreams, because sharing is not on the agenda. Then Kangyu appears holding another golden box, basically revealing the whole thing was a setup. And Lin Yuan, standing over a completely different unassuming box, just dismisses their fight as cheap tricks. Lin Yuan just calmly places his hand on the unassuming gray box, the actual prize, and Kangyu is genuinely impressed by his combat strength, aka his ridiculous speed. Long Tao finally looks up from his tantrum to ask, "Wait, where'd the box go?" With a smug smile, Kangyu explains that the gold boxes were for impatient fools. To even claim one, you first have to win a whole other competition. Lin Yuan, completely unfazed, just pats her head and says he is down for whatever. Xunyu clarifies that those gold boxes were for combat trials, which they both failed spectacularly. Then her twin sister reveals the gray boxes are for creator trials and he lucked out by picking the weakest of them. This weakest sister then lays out the real test, an aura endurance match to open the box. So Lin Yuan starts pouring his energy in, ready for a battle of wills. Long Tao scoffs from the sidelines, confident a mere T attendant is no match for a C-rank pro. 30 minutes later, Purple Hair is having a full-blown meltdown over Lin Yuan's insane aura reserves. One of the elders starts worrying about the fancy hall getting damaged, but another attendant just casually summons a spirit flame, totally unconcerned. Because the entire building is reinforced by a diamond tier phase skill, a casual, ridiculous flex. This old man then frets about the attendant getting hurt, but is told the Empress set this test herself. Lin Yuan realizes this weak attendant is a monster but thinks he has found an opening, and immediately gets zapped for his trouble, a brutal reality check. She just gives him a knowing smile, telling him to stop worrying about others. Now he is sweating, realizing his aura is draining like a sieve while he is making zero progress against her. This attendant gives Long Tao the go-ahead, so he summons a giant shark fae ready for a fight. His platinum-tier dragon shark immediately lunges for a surprise attack, but she just calmly strums her instrument, conjuring a wall of green energy to meet it. Lin Yuan is just floored, realizing these T attendants are stronger than the city lord who flew him here. This green energy just completely shreds the shark's attack, stopping it cold. Long Tao has to eat his words, admitting he underestimated her after one casual counter. She just gives him a smug little smile, basically telling him to try harder. So he powers up, unleashing a massive wave of energy from his fae. A huge tidal curtain forms around him as he boasts about finally getting a real challenge. This purple-haired rival is just confused because it is suddenly raining inside the hall. Kangyu casually throws up a shield, explaining the rain is part of Long Tao's domain, a high-level flex. Long Tao dares her to break his signature Cold Sea domain, looking way too proud of himself. Then he reveals a second platinum tier Fae and Lin Yuan's jaw just hits the floor. This attendant just smirks, saying she is about to get serious now too. With a single pluck of her instrument, a massive spirit beast just erupts from her aura. His rival is completely stunned as the domain shatters instantly, while Long Tao juggles two Faes at once. She is now perched on a pillar, calling him out for trying to hide his trump card inside his own attack. But Long Tao is not fazed, claiming if that is her best shot, the prize is as good as his. And then he drops his real trump card, a fantasy grade 3C dragon, a whole other level of power. Even his own grandpa, the guild's vice president, is shocked, realizing Long Tao hid this monster from everyone. Purple Hair is having a full-on villain moment, realizing Long Tao is a threat he has to crush later. This attendant calmly faces the sea dragon, even complimenting Long Tao's impressive control. Her counter is to summon a tiny, fluffy night dream beast which is just adorable. With a single note, a green energy blade erupts to meet the dragon's attack head-on. Long Tao is not playing around, ordering his Fae to unleash a devastating sea bite. A whole storm of water spikes rains down from the ceiling, a truly massive assault, and her initial aura barrier starts to crack under the sheer pressure. Meanwhile, the other attendant tells Lin Yuan to keep his focus, impressed by the shockwaves alone. This green shield finally gives way, shattering into a million pieces. Long Tao gets way too confident, declaring the match over now that her domain is broken. She just gives him a look that says, "You have no idea what control is, kid." Another strum of her instrument sends out a wave of energy that literally slices through the rain. Long Tao feels his elemental power being neutralized, relying on his second Fae to stall. He desperately orders his other dragon to reinforce the water curtain, but it is no use, her musical attack is tearing right through his defenses, so he pulls out another big move, the 8 Dragon Shadows. 8 spectral dragons lunge forward in a classic quantity over quality attack. This attendant is completely unimpressed, letting out a little ch of disappointment. Suddenly, Long Tao is the one on the defensive, completely baffled as her attack surrounds him. He is forced to admit she is a strong opponent, and she just smiles back, basically saying, "Duh." One of the elders is already convinced Long Tao is about to get wrecked. His purple-haired rival is just smugly patting himself on the back for letting Long Tao go first. But Long Tao's grandpa is not worried, insisting his boy would never go down this easily. Annoyed he has to use a move he was saving, Long Tao gets serious. But he decides she is absolutely worth him going all out. What a generous god. With a final power-up, he unleashes a massive pillar of blue energy. Now even his grandpa is getting nervous, but the other attendant just tells him to chill. His Dragon Fae is charging up a truly insane water attack, impressing even Lin Yuan. In response, the attendant decides she is done holding back too. She unleashes her own special move, a dreamweave of fragrant tea energy. Her little fluffy night dream beast leaps into the watery chaos and emerges as a massive glowing spirit beast ready for a fight. Long Tao feels his sea aura getting suppressed, but his pride will not let him back down, so he goes full Shounen Protagonist, screaming the name of his ultimate attack. His little dragon unleashes a massive energy blast at her giant spirit beast. For the first time, the attendant looks a little strained, ordering her Fae to hold the line. This two colossal attacks race toward each other for a head-on collision, and the impact is absolutely deafening, a massive explosion of raw power. Grandpa immediately starts panicking again, sure that her Fae is about to be obliterated. Meanwhile, the other attendant has to throw up a shield just to protect everyone from the shockwave. With the fight over, Lin Yuan helps the attendant stabilize the lingering energy. Long Tao is completely spent, laughing at how he nearly crippled himself for a shiny box. This attendant gracefully admits defeat, even showing concern for the guy who just wrecked her domain. He returns the respect, acknowledging he could not have won without going all out. As Long Tao starts suffering from aura backlash, Lin Yuan steps in to play healer. He casually refills Long Tao's energy, who is just floored by our boy's bottomless mana pool. An elder realizes Lin Yuan's aura is a rare universal type since it is being accepted without any rejection. A woman in glasses notes that a healing skill this good is something every pro would kill for. Lin Yuan just shrugs it off with a humble, "I am really not that special," fooling absolutely no one. Purple Hair is fuming from the sidelines, furious that Lin Yuan meddled and saved his rival. Kangyu gives a subtle side-eye, having clearly heard his little villainous rant. This other attendant admits she lost her part of the test by getting distracted. She then compliments Lin Yuan's focus, while he is secretly thinking his cat is doing all the work. Kangyu announces that since Long Tao's Faes were injured, he gets some fancy honey as a consolation prize. His grandpa accepts and Long Tao humbly calls the match a draw. Suddenly everyone's being incredibly polite, a nice change of pace from the recent chaos. But just as the prize is about to go to Lin Yuan, a voice shouts for them to stop. It is Purple Hair, arguing that Lin Yuan's test was just mercy aura output and does not count. Kangyu just looks at him like, "And what exactly is your brilliant suggestion?" He proudly announces his name and title, challenging the tea attendant to a proper match. So the attendant, whose name is literally tea washing, accepts his challenge with a smirk. She is basically daring him to prove his strongest creator title, and he suddenly gets all modest. Meanwhile, Lin Yuan is in the back with stars in his eyes, ready for a free lesson.